What's up, everybody? And welcome back to the BallGame podcast. I am the innocent bystander, Matt Sullivan.
I am Trunks.
I'm Dean.
I'm Ortiz.
I'm Chris.
What a mess. What a mess that pre-podcast was. Oh, my God. Very eventful day in sports yesterday. Obviously, the NFL draft happened and the Atlanta Hawks got closed out. Unfortunate for them. Trincali really wanted to see a Knicks-Hawks conference finals. I'm sure a lot of Knicks fans did, to be honest, but I didn't. But I'm sure a lot of Knicks fans did.
Why?
What do you
why?
prefer and why?
Give me Boston.
Why?
Why do you prefer Boston over the Hawks?
Do I think we could beat Boston more than the Hawks? Hell fucking
So
no.
we're going back to the same argument
You're
as
not
before.
a real fan.
We're going back to the same argument as before.
We're choosing the teams that we think that we'd beat. We have the best chance to beat.
It's not
I
even just
wanna
it's just
see
like
us
Trae Young.
prove it.
I want
and
to
beat
prove
Boston.
it. I don't
Hey,
want to Mickey Mouse finals run.
I still think we have a better chance against Boston than we do against Philly.
I think we matched up really well within the season.
That's
Yeah,
why
we
I think we
played
have a
really,
better
really well.
chance
I
against
mean, it
them.
depends. Is
against
Joel
against
injured?
Philly.
But that's not the first
I'm
topic
scared
of
of
the
the
show.
Suns, but whatever. Yeah.
So we'll save that for later. But before we do get into any of this other stuff, I would like to start all. Well, actually, no. We'll stick with the NFL draft. Why would we get into our bets now? It's not NBA time, so we're gonna stick with the NFL draft. Obviously, the NFL draft was a massive event, and it turned out to honestly meet all of my expectations for it. There were a bunch of trades. There were some guys that people expected to be top 10 picks that ended up dropping all the way to the second round or late first. And then other guys that nobody expected to be drafted in the first round at all. And they got picked 12th overall. Not throwing shade at anybody, but
Kind of sounds like
what do you
you're throwing
mean?
shit at someone.
Oh,
You literally
Sounds
said
like something.
you literally said the 12th pick.
Yo, before we do that, how's everyone Sorare team doing?
I was going to save that for ball.
Okay, we'll save that for ball then.
Save it for ball.
Save it for ball.
Yeah.
Save
We're
the ball.
talking about the pigskin right now, I guess.
Oink.
But yeah. Okay, so with the first overall pick, Carolina Panthers selected Bryce Young, and it seemed like it was a foregone conclusion for the last few weeks. Although I will say there was like a couple guys were picking up steam towards the end of this. Like Anthony Richardson, there was like a draft day rumor that like he was going to go first overall too. And like part of me actually believed it to the point where I was actually going to put money on it. And thank God
Wow.
you can't do that stuff.
Is that what you talked about yesterday about FanDuel not letting you?
Yes, exactly that.
So
yes.
FanDuel actually saved me.
FanDuel saved me probably like $50 to $100.
You should send an email thanking FanDuel.
I really should, honestly. But I really do wish we had like the ability to bet on these things because it sucks that we can't. Like
So, I don't know if you guys saw, but there was a Reddit post a few days ago.
Will Levis.
Yeah, it was about Will Levis telling friends and family that the Panthers were going to take him with the first pick. The odds went from plus 4,000 to plus 400 in an hour. And that post was made.
Yo, Reddit. Reddit can change a lot of fucking things.
Yeah.
But yeah, Bryce Young was the first overall pick. How do we feel about the Panthers taking their guy and their future franchise quarterback?
I mean, I think it was the clear-cut choice for a while. Who was going number one overall in this draft? I think that just by the book.
Yeah, it
just
wasn't a
the
surprise.
routine pick. in my
Anything
opinion.
else you heard was probably just to try to throw off any other teams. But I think Bryce Young has been the most talented and has been the number one quarterback in this draft for a long time.
Agreed.
You know, one thing I never understand, if you have the first overall pick and you don't plan on trading it, what's the point of like giving people these mixed signals? I never understand it. I mean, I guess maybe
You
it's to
never
fuck
wanna leave
over
another
whoever's
team
next.
certain.
I think
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
okay if you're not going for the number one guy. You know, like the guy that's obviously number one. Like that's fine. But like in this case, they were, so there's no point in doing
Why
it.
would
Yeah.
it make it easier for anybody else?
I guess.
Like
I
if they
guess.
wanted like CJ Stroud or Anthony Richardson, then yeah.
Making it more difficult for the Texans.
Then
They
you
have
do
to
it,
Think about
but-
it. Like, nah, I get it. Yeah.
Oh, Sweezy, I fucking love you.
What do you
Oh,
say?
that's why you're fucking here, my guy. Good shit.
What do you say?
He said that he's a good friend.
What? Anyways, you just mentioned the other name of the other quarterback in this draft.
Oh,
And-
Sweezy?
Oh no. I was
Oh.
talking about Trincali. And that being CJ Stroud, who got drafted to the Texans second overall. I feel like a lot of people were discounting the fact that Stroud was going to go second overall. A lot of a lot of rumors were starting to lean Will Anderson, who we will talk about in a second, which was a crazy draft day trade. But CJ Stroud was the right pick. I think it too. And I think the Texans made the right decision. They needed the franchise quarterback. That's pretty obvious. And Stroud's that guy. So what do we think about the Texans?
They were one of the
Taking their
winners.
guy.
They were one of the winners of the draft because they got both of their guys that they wanted. You know, they were thinking about not even taking a quarterback and taking Will Anderson, and they ended up getting both.
They traded a lot to move back up, but I think it was very well worth it. Yeah, I mean, I guess we could pair these two together. The third overall was Will Anderson.
What is the full trade package with the Cardinals?
Let me see if that pops up.
I know it's a 2024 pick, and
Yes.
Ian Rappaport or whoever confirmed that it is their pick next year, not the Browns pick.
Texans trade.
But
What do we think about it for Arizona?
well, first I'll say Stroud. I thought Stroud was always the number 2 pick. I thought just with the Texans' current roster and just CJ Stroud's potential and what he showed us at Ohio State, I just thought he was so clearly the pick for them. But yeah, getting Will Anderson too is pretty nuts because those were probably their 2 top players on their entire draft board.
Yeah, I mean, unless they were going for Bryce Young, I mean, they got the 2 top guys. Like those guys will be the leaders of their offense and defense going forward for the foreseeable future. So to get those was huge.
So it's the 12th overall pick, 2024 first round pick, and the 33rd overall pick, as well as a 2024 third round pick. So 2024 first, 2024 third, and then the 12th and 33rd this season. So a fucking haul to Arizona. But I think it was well worth it. They got their guy. D'Amico Ryans was talking up Will Anderson the entire pre-draft process. So I one can only assume they got their 2 pillars of their team for the next 10 to 15 years. So shout out the Texans. I will say the first kind of surprise in my opinion of this draft, aside from that trade, landed at number 4, and that was the Colts taking Anthony Richardson. Obviously he was rumored to go there the whole time. It was his primary destination, most likely. It was him or Will Levis, but they took Anthony Richardson. And honestly, I love this.
Are you surprised then?
I'm surprised because I genuinely thought it was going to end up being Levis. And I mean, I guess we could just mention Levis now. The dude didn't even get drafted in the first round.
Yeah.
Why?
Like,
was there something wrong? Like, did something come out that
there was something that came out that like his toe was injured, but like I swear to God, that's got to be bullshit that the guy fell out of the draft because of a toe.
it doesn't make sense?
Imagine
'Cause literally a few days
honestly,
ago,
like,
he was
fell
rumored
off.
going as high as 1.
Well, dudes don't usually
And
pull
now,
up to the draft
think-
and sit there unless they're gonna get drafted.
Yeah.
I think he was just the 4th quarterback in the class. There were teams that were QB needy, so they did their due diligence. They, met with him, worked him out, all that fun stuff. But they just, I mean, he was never like great. He never really had great tape. Like he always had concerns. So it's not a shock to me. I agree. He could have went as high as 5, but also I'm not shocked that he fell out of the first round, really.
I will give him the benefit of the doubt, given the fact that his supporting cast was atrocious, one of the worst offensive lines. And
Oh, yeah. They were terrible.
but he ran a pro offense in college. I definitely think he was first round worthy. I mean, there was no doubt about that. I thought that personally the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at 19 should have taken him.
That's the only team that I'm really
I
shocked.
think the Vikings too. I think the Vikings at 23 should have taken him as well.
Well, now all these teams have another opportunity to take them.
to trade up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and it's gonna cost far less now than
Right.
Well, that's another thing too. I feel like once he fell out of the top 10, teams were like, all right, well, we could get him tomorrow if we want to get him. We could trade up and do what we have to do to get him.
I thought the Titans were taking him at 11. To be honest, I thought it was a foregone conclusion once he fell out of the top 10. I thought Tennessee was going to take him.
I was surprised, but I like that they're building through O-line.
Yeah,
Nah,
smart pick.
I agree. No, I definitely.
I saw
agree.
them linked to D-Hop or something, but I just don't think that's the way to go for
I
Tennessee.
don't think so
I
either.
don't think it's just re-up and go for it again. I think it's building through the draft and, next is quarterback because Malik Willis ain't it.
No, they've lost faith completely in
Yeah.
Malik Willis. But what do we think about Richardson as a Colt now? Before we just talked a bunch about Will Levis, but more importantly, the actual pick here. What do we think about Anthony Richardson as an Indianapolis Colt now?
Do you think they're going to start him off the rip ski?
No way. I think Gardner Minshew starts that season for sure.
I agree with Dean.
He'll
Anthony
start 2
Richardson,
games.
he will
he's so fucking.
I think he'll play this season.
He
Yes.
needs so much development, bro. Like that's a guy. If you were to look at any I think most quarterbacks should sit their first year in the NFL, regardless. That's really what I believe. I think a lot of guys could benefit
So
from
you think
watching.
like Bryce Young or CJ Stroud should be sitting for the first season?
That's special. Those teams are really bad. I think a team like Indianapolis, where you could, and Anthony Richardson's not as good as Bryce Young and CJ Stroud, so
No.
he could sit for longer than they could. So I think he could benefit from sitting a year behind Gardner Minshew for sure.
I think
And I think he should.
Yeah, I think Gardner is the starter when it comes around to the first day of the season. Mid-season starter could be different. We don't know, obviously. It all depends on how high they view of him and how well they think he could work already.
I think we just see how important rookie young QB confidence is, and if you destroy that early, some guys don't bounce back from it.
Zach Wilson.
We saw that happen with Zach Wilson. He's luckily kind of getting another chance from them getting Aaron Rodgers and being able to sit behind him and learn, and hopefully maybe 2 years from now we'll see something different. But Anthony Richardson, he's too raw and too unpolished to be just throwing him out there. Let's say he fucking sucks, because he wasn't the greatest thrower at Florida, so he could come out and just suck and just never get his confidence back.
I will say one thing. It's pretty obvious that of all the ceilings of these quarterbacks, Anthony Richardson has the highest one, and I don't even think it's remotely close.
I agree.
No disrespect to Bryce Young, no disrespect to CJ Stroud, even Will Levis, but he's young, and he has probably, you can argue, the strongest arm next to Will Levis in this draft. And then outside of that, he's easily the most athletic quarterback in this draft.
Yeah, I'm
He's
looking.
the
I'm,
most athletic player.
He comes
I'm looking
in
at his
a top-
combine results right now.
a top 5
insane.
QB runner in the league.
Bro,
immediately,
he's putting
off
up
rip.
numbers that receivers would be putting
No,
up.
these numbers of 40 and
And receivers would be
41-inch vertical is kind of nuts for a QB.
These are top 10 receiver numbers.
From an
combine.
athletic standpoint, he's the prototypical football player. He's the most athletic. He's 6'4". He's what
245, bro.
245. Yeah, he's crazy.
245, runs a 4.40. What? That shouldn't even be possible, bro. People are comparing him to Cam Newton, and I get it. I just think his ceiling is even higher than that, and he won an MVP. Crazy enough.
And that's just the reason why. Another
Super
reason
Bowl.
why you sit him a year, let him learn. You don't want to fuck it up. You have so much talent here, so much talent that you really don't see every day. A guy that's that athletic and can run like he could. I think you really need to get this one right if you're Indianapolis. Between the QB carousel they got going on every year, they need to get this right.
I agree. Definitely agree. Shout out the Colts, man. They took a big swing here. I love it. I honestly love it. All right. So the Seattle Seahawks at 5 took Devon Witherspoon. Do we have any thoughts on that?
I was pretty surprised.
I agree.
I thought Christian Gonzalez was the clear QB1, CB1 in this class. So I was pretty
thought they were
He
going to
fell.
take Jalen. I thought they were going to take Jalen. I really did.
I thought Tyree Wilson too.
Tyree Wilson too, but he had he failed his physical
Yeah.
pre-draft. So that's why. Tyree Wilson really didn't fall very far. He 2 picks later. Arizona Cardinals took Paris Johnson, which I was honestly happy that they valued the trenches a little bit. I think
So they traded
personally-
back up after they traded
Yes,
down.
they traded up after they traded down with Detroit. And Detroit was moving a lot in this draft. Detroit was moving a bunch in this draft. But yeah, Paris Johnson to the Cardinals. Love that they valued the trenches. But in my personal opinion, Peter Skoronski was the best offensive lineman in this class. Next up, the Las Vegas Raiders, Tyree Wilson. You didn't love this pick at first, Chris. We were texting in the chat, and you did not love this pick
I
at
just
first.
feel like there's other things the Raiders could have addressed. I think Peter S. Skoronski.
Peter Skoronski, yeah.
Peter S. could have been the pick here. Even a receiver, I feel like I would have liked more than this pick here in this
They have a lot of
situation.
receivers there, though.
They do,
Devontae,
but they could use
Renfro.
a real wide receiver too.
Jacoby Myers. I don't.
I don't know.
I
It's tough.
like the pick. I love Tyree Wilson, the prospect, and I think, like we said before the show, he could play all over the D line. That's why you draft a guy like that, even though you have a good D line already. But
That's a team that I could see going day 2. Will Levis, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, maybe. I could see that too. Jimmy Garoppolo's on. I don't think he's long term for the Raiders. I love this pick though because I think one thing, if you could draft an edge this good, it helps your secondary immensely. I always value pass rushers before I value a corner because of the fact that my pass rushers make my corners a million times better. Because if they could get there like this, my corners don't even have to do as much. Obviously, it can work in the other way as well, but I just think it's more important to be able to get to a quarterback and make him as uncomfortable as quickly as possible. So I'm always a fan of drafting edges. I don't care where it is. I don't care how many you have on your team. I feel like they should always be constantly towards the top of everyone's draft board. Speaking of being at the top of people's draft boards, but honestly was not near the top of mine. Number 8, the Atlanta Falcons took Bijan Robinson, the first running back off the board, and a running back goes in the top 10 here. So
First one since Saquon, right?
Yeah, first one since Saquon. What do we think about this? I personally, no disrespect to Bijan, he's an amazing prospect, generational running back. Terrible pick. Horrible. I thought it was atrocious, in my opinion. Yes, I thought it was one of the worst picks in this entire draft. Not because of the player. I think he'll be amazing. There's no doubt. I have the number 1 pick in Dynasty. Of course, I'm going to think he's amazing. But you already had Tyler Algier, who had a good rookie season. We did a blind ranking.
did.
He had 1,000 yards,
he had a
and
good
nobody
season.
knew it. And he averaged like 4.9 yards per carry. I mean, I don't know, man. If you don't need a running back, why draft one this early? You can always build at other positions. That was just my opinion. Do you guys have any other?
I agree.
thoughts?
Tyler
I
Allgeier's
agree.
not Bijan Robinson. I think that's the point. The point is
Yeah.
Bijan Robinson is a generational running back. That is what he's viewed as going into the NFL. Whether you believe he's going to be that or not, that's what he's viewed as. And teams believe that when he steps on the field and gets the ball, he is going to be the focal point. He's going to be your offense, and that's what Atlanta's going for. They don't particularly have a quarterback right now, so he's going to be the leader of their offense for a little while. So I think that was the point of taking him this high.
They probably could have traded back though a little. No,
He also
I
run the
think a
risk.
lot of teams thought the Eagles were going to take him.
I think if that's your guy, then you stand pat. I don't know.
Yeah. I agree with you, Dean. I think he just this style. I've said it a million times. This team is not that far off of being really not really, but like competitive. And they showed a lot last season, in my opinion. They made win now moves in the offseason. All offseason, they signed a bunch of fucking guys to bolster the defense. I think, yeah, they definitely need an edge. They could definitely use another edge, but I'm high on my guy, Arnold Ebiketie. I think he's going to have a really strong second year. But, I mean, quarterback wasn't the pick. They weren't going to take, no point in taking Will Levis. You could say O-line. I feel like their O-line proved last year they were good enough for now that wasn't a huge need. I mean, like maybe corner since they released Casey Hayward. But I just think Bijan Robinson's going to boost their offensive floor so much. Tyler Algier was really good, but those runs where Tyler Algier is running for 4 to 5 yards, Bijan could take those for 10 to 15 yards. That's the difference here. It really is like I'm not going to say the best, but he really is one of the best running back prospects we've ever seen. And as much as we say the running back position doesn't matter, when you have guys like that, to me, it does. The Christian McCaffreys of the world, the Derrick Henrys of the world, the Saquons of the world, those guys boost your offensive floor so much.
They talk about home run ability a lot. And those are guys that have home run ability. You know, guys that could take 30, 40, 50-yard runs to the house. You know, beat the last defender, get there and make a difference in the game. And I think Bijan Robinson's in that tier of running back.
I think
I
he
just-
steps into the league and he's already top 10.
Exactly. I think the running back position gets undervalued because of their lifespan. But when you have the elite of the guys, like they're worth paying, first of all, and they change your offensive floor
Don't know
so
about
much.
that one.
I
don't know.
really do think they are. I mean, Like, yeah, their lifespans are shorter, and after you give them that first contract, they tend to fall off. But once you give them that, you pay them, and then that's it, and then you move on to the next guy. But that's how it is at every other position. Just their lifespans are longer, but you still have to pay guys. You know what I mean? You still have to pay guys at every position once they're off their rookie contract.
Yeah, I don't know. I just personally, I
A
don't
guy like
value
Bijan,
running
who
backs.
for his rookie contract is going to help the team so much, like hell yeah, you pay him after his rookie contract. Same
Yeah.
thing with Saquon. Saquon's done so much for the Giants over his rookie contract. It's just like hell yeah, you pay him. Same thing with McCaffrey when he was coming off his rookie contract. Same thing with a guy like Derrick Henry.
And I think with a team like the Falcons, I know they're like now I think they're almost a quarterback away
Yeah.
from competing. And I think that while you have Bijan on his rookie contract, if they can get a quarterback relatively soon, you could have both those guys not really getting paid and be competitive.
Well, no, Bijan steps into the league and I believe he's close to the 10th highest paid running back in the NFL.
just because of his
Just
draft.
because of
where he
his
was
draft
drafted.
position.
Yeah.
So it's not like he's a low paid running back. That's just not the case. But he's not getting paid ridiculous top tier money for a guy that's probably going to step in. And I said top 10. He might even be top 5 from the moment he steps foot on an NFL field. From that point, I get it. It's rare that you're going to draft a player that's immediately going to step in and be a top 5 player at his position. But I just don't see running backs going this high when you could get guys that could do 85% of that in the third or fourth
Like
round.
what Dean said, the home run ability.
That
It
extra
it
15%
changes stuff
go a long
because
way.
you look at the Falcons, they were a run heavy team last year, one of the better rushing
Well,
teams
Arthur
in
Smith
the
is their guy.
Well, right. So you
So-
think about it. Yes, Tyler Algier was really good, but you got to think about the way that run scheme is, and with the pieces they already have on the O line. If you put Bijan Robinson in Tyler Algier's shoes, that rushing offense gets even better, and that's what they want to do. They want, especially because they don't have a quarterback. They want to run the fucking ball.
They're going to.
They
'Cause
think they have their guy. They don't.
They're, I don't know.
I don't think
I don't know
have
where
their guy.
their faith is on Desmond Ritter. He's going to be the starter this year, obviously.
We will
So
most
yeah.
definitely find out, but I don't know. That's gonna be interesting. I'm intrigued.
Well,
to
that's the
see what
thing
Desmond
too
Ritter
with
can
not
do.
taking a quarterback for them. There's guys next year, so you give Desmond Ritter a chance. If he's bad, then fuck it.
Look, they could still end up getting Will Levis.
Yeah.
There's a legitimate.
And even
chance
if they
could end up
don't, it's
getting
like,
Will Levis.
okay, well, we were bad this year, but we made all these moves in the offseason. We got these, we signed all these guys. We drafted a running back. We did whatever else we did in the draft. I expect them to honestly take a receiver with one of their later picks. At some point, they're going to take a receiver in this draft. So they're thinking we got all the other pieces figured out. We could be bad this year, and we could get Caleb Williams or Drake May next year.
I was about to say you don't even have to be bad. They're in a position where they're one of those teams where I think they're so set in most other positions they can afford to trade multiple
up,
first round
right.
picks to go get that guy. So
I don't know. I think a guy like Bijan just really helps. The same way we see with Saquon. It's so much deeper than the stuff he does on the field. Just a guy like that just sets the foundation.
yeah, I get it. No, I definitely agree.
All this like the Giants culture change and stuff like that. Like yes,
It's
the
real.
GM and the coach Brian Daboll obviously, but Saquon's a huge part
He
of
is.
that shit.
He is. I definitely agree. He most definitely
Having that guy who's a rock at the running back position that like I said a million times, that's just gonna boost your floor. Like no matter at bare minimum, he's gonna boost your floor. Like that shit's huge to me. I don't know.
No, I get it.
No, I agree with Chris.
I
I think a great running back is more effective than a great like any other position. You know what I mean? With it,
Besides
the
like
difference.
quarterback and edge.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Sure. I mean, I don't know. Corner, wide receiver. Those are two that I think are more important also. And offensive line. It's not even remotely close. But
I don't know. The offensive line is a unit. The receiver room's a unit. When you have a generational type running back, like that's part of like that's your rushing attack.
my
Like
thing
that's
is,
the running back.
how many times do we see that guy, like especially recently in the Super Bowl? Like we haven't really seen a generation.
We
running
haven't,
back
but
play in the Super Bowl. Like, what have we had recently? We've had Isaiah Pacheco,
but
who was a
we've
7th round pick.
But we've
generation.
seen teams
Miles Sanders.
with these great running
Generational
backs
pick.
be in a position where they think they can win the Super Bowl. I agree that yes, you can win a Super Bowl with a running back that's on a cheaper deal. Like that's what history tells us recently. But I
Also,
think
look at the quarterbacks that are on those teams. I think that matters.
Well, and also I just think that's just kind of the luck of the draw. I feel like it's not like teams who are paying running backs like that's the
It does
reason why
hurt.
they're not competitive. I think, like I said before, I think paying any position hurts. These guys are not cheap,
No,
no matter what.
good players. are
When
not.
you have a great player at like a top 5 player at their position coming off their rookie contract, they're not going to be cheap no matter what.
Yeah. No, I get that. I do want to move on and talk about this pick because this pick was fucking crazy. Because of course this would happen, especially as a Giant fan. At number 9, the Philadelphia Eagles selected arguably the best player in the draft, and he probably would have. His floor was top 3 if none of this stuff happened, and that is Jalen Carter. Because of course he would get drafted to the Eagles. I'm so pissed the fuck off about this. Fletcher Cox is probably retiring soon, and of course they get a guy that's going to be as dominant, if not potentially even more dominant, because I have no doubts that the Eagles are somehow going to make sure that his head stays on straight and he's one of the best players in the NFL.
Oh, of course.
They won the
That's
draft.
how it happens.
They just won the draft by
Yeah.
drafting him. Yeah.
Yeah, they're the fucking Philadelphia Bulldogs. That's what they are now, because they just take a bunch of Georgia players.
Well, it works.
Yeah, obviously.
Go Dogs.
They now have I think it was they have Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith, obviously in this draft, just that by itself. I guess we could talk about the Nolan Smith pick too. He was a top 15 talent and he went 30th overall. Like what is this? Like why do the Eagles end up with all these great players? Like I don't understand. And then last season they took who was it? Nakobe Dean, and who was the other player? They took Jordan Davis. Nakobe Dean and Jordan Davis. Like
Kobe Dean.
and we talk about like one of the greatest like college football defenses ever. That's the Georgia Bulldogs, and the Eagles are just taking those guys and saying,
yeah.
all right, well, they were one of the best college defenses ever. They'll be one of the best NFL defenses ever.
Well, yeah, the Eagles just improving on the records
Do
they
well.
broke last year.
What they do
I mean,
well.
they're just saying, okay, no one could stop it last year. Let's make it even
They
better.
had 70 sacks last year, bro. They might go for 100.
Yeah, they're just saying we're going to beat everyone the same exact way we beat everyone else, and that's just beating the
And
shit
just
out of
be
your
better at
quarterback.
it. And
Yeah,
just be even better at it now.
Yeah.
So, oh my God, they're the edge rusher and defensive tackle factory in the NFL.
Yeah, I mean,
ridiculous.
props to
Although
the-
they
props-
lost Javon Hargrave. They lost Javon Hargrave to the 49ers, who was one of the best defensive tackles in the league.
Mhm.
And they just replaced him with Jalen Carter.
Yeah.
So-
So I mean, out with the old, in with the new. I guess. I mean, that's all it comes down to. They're just staying true to the roots.
As a guy, I do like as a man, I do hope he figures shit out mentally there. Like obviously the whole thing that happened with him and the whole car debacle. I hope he
Debacle.
figures
I'm
everything
sure after
out.
going through that, he will figure it out.
I do hope he figures things
After
out
almost
mentally.
losing it all, you know.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
let's see. He
Naturally, that
con-
means
no
he's going to be
contest
the
plea.
greatest player of all time.
Yeah.
Just naturally, that means
reckless
he's gonna-
driving and racing charges. Ooh.
So
Yeah, sounds like more than a debacle, but
I mean,
I don't want.
he was sentenced to serve 12 months probation, $1,000 fine, 80 hours of community service,
He was
and-
racing with his
and
friend, and two
complete
people
a
passed away.
state-approved defensive driving course.
So-
So, he'll
Yeah,
be
bro.
eligible to play football.
He very well could have lost it all,
Yeah,
but talent wins over. So just
So
throwing that out there.
Sets his head straight.
Yes, I hope he gets his head straight. I hope this isn't something where he takes advantage of the fact that he even got drafted in the top 10 and goes from there. But anyways, we'll move on from that. I just don't even want to talk about the Eagles. Chicago Bears at 10 drafted Darnell Wright. Big time move. They needed a tackle. He might be one of the best in the entire draft, especially a right tackle. Peter Skoronski, the Titans. Loved that because that's my guy, Peter Skoronski. And the Titans definitely needed an offensive lineman. But this is one I feel like we're going to want to talk about a little bit too. And that's the one I mentioned in the intro. At number 12, the Detroit Lions selected Jahmyr Gibbs, running back out of Alabama, a guy that I didn't even think would be drafted anywhere before 26, honestly. And here he is getting drafted at 12th overall.
Terrible pick.
What the fuck you doing, Detroit? Like Christian Gonzalez was right there. You traded down. People thought you were going to take him at 6. You traded down, and he was still there at 12. Yeah, I don't even know what to say. I thought it was an awful pick. I thought it was one of the worst picks in the first round, if not the worst pick in the first round. again, I think Jahmyr Gibbs is going to be a good player, but it's just running back. If you draft a running back this early, I'm going to say it's a bad pick.
Do you think it had anything to do with Bijan going so high? That the Eagles, not the Eagles, the Lions just kind of reached at a running back.
Like you think they were? No,
It didn't make sense that they even needed a running back.
I
though.
agree. They had Swift and Montgomery. I don't know, man. I don't know. If it's not, I feel like if running back is not your number one need, it's a luxury pick.
Like not only did they like draft a running back, which that itself is hard
Crazy,
to do.
yeah.
It's crazy. Like this early, they didn't even need one.
Yeah. No, I agree.
So like,
and they got rid of,
needed
and they
one
got, and,
less so than
they got rid of Jamal
the
Williams.
Falcons
I
that
think
I
they
just
just
spoke about.
really
Yeah.
want to get rid of DeAndre Swift.
They are
I
going
think
to
they
trade him.
really want to.
They are going to trade him. He will be gone, or he will be cut. I have a
I
feeling.
don't think he'll
either
be
one of
cut.
those.
I think he'll be
I mean,
traded.
no one's if they know they don't want DeAndre Swift, no one's going to go out of their way to trade for him.
Exactly.
He might be cut.
He might just be cut. The Dolphins will definitely make a play on that. I feel.
it's crazy.
but-
He fell off fast.
Who Swift?
Yeah.
Bro, he was super talented. It was just
It's
injuries,
just
man.
injuries, man.
It was just injuries. But yeah, no, you can't trust the guy when all he does is get hurt. But yeah, this
Like
this
trusting
pick was
Kawhi.
this pick was traded
Can't do
4
it.
times, by the way. It went from Cleveland to Houston to Arizona, then to Detroit. So it's quite a few
All for
trades.
Jahmyr Gibbs.
All for Jahmyr Gibbs to be drafted there. The Packers 13th went with
Shout out
Lucas
Jahmyr
Van
Gibbs.
Ness. Yeah, shout out Jahmyr Gibbs. Packers went with Lucas Van Ness. I honestly thought they were going to take Jackson. I really thought it was going to happen.
Thought so too.
But they
should've.
ended up taking edge rusher Lucas Van Ness. Don't hate the pick, but thought that they should have went receiver there. 14, the Steelers took Broderick Jones, offensive tackle out of Georgia. They actually jumped you guys because most likely you guys were going to take an offensive tackle. So Dean with the 15th overall pick, you guys ended up taking Will McDonald the 4th, and I will turn it over to you. What did you think about this Jets pick?
Well, it's not the guy I wanted, or thought we were gonna take. I thought we were gonna. I think Jackson Smith was a pipe dream. I think that the Jets were kind of leaning towards defense again, or a tackle, but all the tackles were taken that they liked. I think they might have gone Elijah Cansey.
That's what they were saying on the broadcast. Yeah,
Nolan Smith was another one.
thought Nolan Smith.
But I think Will McDonald offers something different. I think he's way more athletic than those guys, and I think he's also another raw, talented guy. So the Jets have the way they run their defensive line. They run in a committee. They run like 10 guys in and out, like a whole different set of dudes are playing on first down than third down. So I think for the style of football that they play, I think that drafting edges and D linemen over and over and over again, I think it's kind of what they're going for. I think they're going for guys that could sub in and out all games, guys with fresh legs.
Yeah, just keep the line.
I
fresh.
don't
Okay.
hate it.
Keep the line moving.
It's smart.
Yeah, I mean it worked for them last year.
Worked for the
You saw
Eagles.
it happen.
Same thing with
They
the.
were
I mean, same
applying
thing with the
pressure all
Jets.
game. So you got another team's opposing offensive line playing all game, playing every snap. But then your D line is playing half or less than half of those snaps. They are always fresh. They're always getting to the quarterback. So I think replenishing on D line is always good. Was Will McDonald the pick? I don't know. Maybe
I think
not.
Nolan Smith should have been.
But he's
but-
super athletic. I hate it, but I wish we would have went in a different direction.
Yeah, I mean, I can agree with that. But again, as I said, I never think it's the wrong pick to take an edge, especially an edge that has as much untapped potential as what McDonald does. Yeah, that was what the Aaron Rodgers trade there, right? That's
Well, they had 13.
piece of
They
it.
went down to 15.
yeah. So they took Lucas Van Ness, and you guys took Will McDonald. So that's
We
part of the
we
trade
would have
we
had
figured out there.
Broderick Jones,
Yeah, probably would have had Broderick.
but no Aaron Rodgers. I'd take Aaron Rodgers
Over
No.
Broderick
over
Jones.
Broderick Jones.
I think
any
that's
day.
fair. It's a fair take.
Yeah, for sure. So next up, we have the Washington Commanders. That's Emmanuel Forbes, the corner at Mississippi State. I was very surprised, especially with Christian Gonzalez on the board. But Chris, you made a good point before the show started that you think that the Commanders this was their guy the whole damn time, and they didn't really do much else outside of that. My one issue with him, incredibly thin, 166 pounds at 6'1". Ortiz, you also said that's literally your build.
That's me.
That's crazy.
I just got drafted to the NFL.
It's literally
Wait,
you.
great. Let's see. How old is he?
Emmanuel
Imagine
Forbes
Ortiz
is-
being a corner in the NFL.
Bro,
that's literally you.
Justin Jefferson, bro.
It's terrible.
That's insane.
Imagine Ortiz fucking lining up in front of Justin Jefferson in press coverage, bro.
Bro, I'd cook him.
That's crazy.
Would you ask what's his age?
Yeah.
Where does it? It doesn't say. Why
Probably
would
like
it not say?
22, right?
Well,
Or-
he's,
I would assume he's no older than 22.
yeah, which is crazy.
it was
He's a
literally
he's
you.
a junior. He's an actual
So-
junior. He's 21 years old.
so my
He's
time is
21 years
coming.
old, yeah.
No, you're like he is younger than you. Like
He's a
that's
year younger.
crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So my time's coming.
Literally, if you were guarding,
Your time is
guys
come
like
and
Justin
gone.
Jefferson.
Well, no, I think
Wow.
he's more athletic than Ortiz is.
Nah, but like
If he put us both through a combine, I think I could be able to compete with his
they have the same body, though.
4.3 yard 40.
Do you think so?
Yeah. Also is
4.3 yard 40 up.
4.3 second 40. My bad.
Yeah, 4.35.
His broad jump really ain't all that either. It's only 11 feet. The record's only 12.
What the
fuck? His vert is 37 and a half inches.
My vert's like 37.
Oh,
and a half
okay, cool.
inches.
All right,
That one's the only one I think I could beat him in.
Oh, okay.
It's just my vertical.
All right, cool.
I had really good knees for that one.
All right. So finally, the Patriots ended the slide of a corner that was possibly the best corner on the entire draft board, and that's Christian Gonzalez, corner out of Oregon. Of course, the Patriots end up with one of the best players in the draft. It's only fitting that that happens.
It's crazy how Belichick didn't draft someone in like the 4th round. That should have went in the 4th round. I feel like that's always something
That's
that
always
happens. That's
something they
always
do.
something they do.
But he fell into their lap. I mean, he absolutely fell into their lap. Nobody thought he'd fall this far. I thought probably the lowest he was going to go was 11 or 12. And it's not like the guy is athletically challenged. We just mentioned the guy that had 4.35 speed. He has 4.38 speed. He's taller and larger in terms of his build.
And could broad jump 2 inches further.
11-1 and a 41.5-inch vertical jump at 6 foot.
That's like my
1.5.
limit. That's like my limit.
Yeah. Oh, that's your limit.
Yeah, 41 and a half.
Well, I get it, bro. I understand. We all can't jump as high as Christian Gonzalez, unfortunately. But yeah, I thought this was crazy that he fell this far. Would I say he's the best corner in the draft? No, because I think the Giants got the best corner in the draft. But
I think Christian Gonzalez has those tools to succeed in the NFL.
for sure.
I think he just has a higher floor than everyone else in the NFL.
And in this, I mean,
In this draft.
yeah, I think the Patriots are the winners of the first round after this. I thought not only getting the best corner in the draft, I think clearly the best corner in the draft. I didn't think it was really a question after what he did at the combine. And being able to trade down to do so, to get another long, rangy, athletic corner in the Belichick defense. I just think they can never have enough of those guys.
Those
and
corners are legit
and-
there, bro.
and they always end up developing really nicely in that defense. So I think it was a great landing spot for him and a great pick by the Patriots.
Agreed. Definitely agree with that.
And
Next,
now you have the next 2 days to address the offense if you're the
Bingo.
Patriots.
bingo. And they signed Juju this offseason,
And
so that's cool. I
This
guess.
is where the
Renegade,
day 4
renegade,
guys come in. They
renegade.
come rolling into
Yeah.
the second
Yeah.
round.
This is that's exactly what.
Imagine Juju renegading with Bill Belichick.
That's crazy.
Jesus,
Crazy.
Christ. You think Juju's gonna post a TikTok with Bill at some point?
No.
I think Bill will cut him.
There's no chance.
All right. So next up, the Detroit Lions at 18 picked Jack Campbell, linebacker out of Iowa. I thought it was a massive reach. I thought he was going to end up in the early second round, but versatile defensive piece nonetheless. And I trust that regime there, that they're always going to produce good players. 19th, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers selected a guy that you just mentioned, Kalijah Kancey. Thought this was where Will Levis was going to end up going. Kalijah Kancey, oddly enough, has a lot of similarities to a certain guy that we call one of the greatest defensive players of all time. I don't think he is that. I don't think he will be that. But in terms of size and his testing at the combine and the college that he went to more specifically, he's almost exactly like Aaron Donald. So
I really like this pick for them.
me too.
I think it gives you the best of both worlds in the interior of your D-line. You have a true nose tackle in Vita Vea, and now you get a guy who's, obviously clearly more athletic and faster and all that stuff. So it gives you a different look. You could do different things. You could have them on the field at the same time. You could, Kancey could set up on the edge when he has to alongside Vita Vea. He could play inside. So I really like the pick.
You know what's crazy? This guy's 6'1", 281, and he ran a 4.67 40.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like, how are these dudes as athletic as they are? It just doesn't
It's
make
kind of
sense.
the same thing with why I love Tyree Wilson so much and why I came along to the Raiders pick. I'm like, drafting edge is important, but I think more than anything, if you could get one of those guys who could be versatile on your D line and give you different looks on your D line, I think that's so huge.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, especially when you could push the pocket from the interior, there's really not much better than that.
See a guy like
So,
Jeffrey Simmons.
bingo. Dexter Lawrence,
Right.
my guy on the Giants. But yeah, all right. So obviously, Trincali, you love fantasy football, so this starts to actually play into your hand here.
Oh,
So we
yeah.
had a run on wide receivers here, 4 in a row actually. The Seattle Seahawks took the first one off the board, and that was JSN, Jackson Njigba, wide receiver at Ohio State. I don't know how I feel about this pick. He's their wide receiver 3 now. He steps in behind DK and Tyler Lockett.
I think by the end of the season, he'll be ahead of Tyler Lockett.
I think he's the type of dude who will still produce even if he's your wide receiver 3.
They instantly have one of the best wide receiver rooms in the league.
Most
Yes.
teams' wide
So-
receiver 3 tends to be their slot guy, and that's kind of exactly what
Exactly what he is.
Jason's going to be able to come in right away. And it's not like he has to sit behind those guys because
he's-
Jason's a different receiver than those two guys. So, like, he will be there over the middle of the field guy lining up in the slot. So, I like the pick. I think they could have. Whenever you take, like we've said a million times so far this episode, if you take a running back, but I feel the same way with receiver too. There are other positions that people tend to think can impact the game more, but when you have one of those guys at their position, they really change life for you. I think JSN was something. This team was good last year, and a guy like JSN was definitely something that they were missing. That true guy to go over the middle of the field. So he definitely helps the team. So I don't mind the pick.
I completely agree.
He's going to be great right away. He was clearly the wide receiver 1 in the class, in my opinion.
Yes.
I thought there was
thought
no
it was
doubt.
him or Addison, in my opinion.
Thought there was no
Addison
doubt. Those other guys were really good too, but I just thought JSN was clearly the best receiver in the class. His route running ability is unmatched.
where he's very good in the middle of the field. So 21, the Los Angeles Chargers selected Quentin Johnson, wide receiver out of TCU. I will say they have arguably the most physically imposing wide receiver room.
Should have
in
been
the
Zay
entire league.
Flowers.
I completely agree with that.
I think they really whiffed it. Quinn Johnson's a good player, but I think they really whiffed this pick.
Their wide receivers are now 6'4", 6'3", and 6'2".
Yeah, it's
So
some big boys.
they have the most physically imposing wide receiver room in the entire league. It's just
Let's hope they can all stay on the
Can
field.
they stay
Chargers' pass
healthy?
game is going to be insane. And,
Yes.
I mean, we already saw it being insane. It's going to be even better.
Yeah, as long as
I
everyone's
just wish it
healthy.
was like a Zay Flowers, man, a guy who could truly
Stretch the
take the
field.
top off the defense. Yeah.
completely agree. Or
It's-
even Jalen Hyatt, if you're gonna, he fits there just because he could take the top off the defense.
It's
But
also crazy how all these dudes could broad jump over 10.5 feet. Every single one of them, I looked at their combine results. They've all broad jumped over 10.5 feet.
yeah,
I think I could do like 4.
How the fuck do people do this?
I'm actually curious. Bro, it's crazy. These are top 0.1% of like athletes in the entire world. Even better than that. In the entire world, we're talking about like,
Like Gallo tours ACL doing what they're doing for 11 feet.
yeah.
That's insane.
But that is Joe Gallo. That's the difference here,
Yeah.
buddy. Like all of us
it's,
can't.
it's a
do-
college athlete we're talking about. man.
Yes, but there's a reason that we can't do what these guys can do. They're just freaks of nature. Like quite literally, all of these guys are freaks of nature.
So is
Stop.
Trunks.
So am I.
All right. So the next wide receiver, your guy that you just mentioned, the Baltimore Ravens selected Zay Flowers, wide receiver out of Boston College. I actually really liked this pick.
Broad jumps over 10.5 feet.
They
You have
finally
your
have
under-
some weapons.
Yeah, Odell, Zay Flowers, and of course Mark Andrews. So
Yeah.
it's kind of and Rashad Bateman. Hopefully he comes back healthy. It's intriguing there now, honestly. And Lamar, more
Locked
importantly
up?
than anything else, is now locked up for the next 5 years.
What was it? 185 mil guaranteed.
I didn't think the
I think
deal
so.
would get done. I didn't see it happening.
A lot of
I'm
people
happy
didn't.
the
It-
deal
something
got
had to
done, man.
something had to happen sooner or later with Lamar
He-
Jackson.
Definitely deserved it.
know
Happy
what's
the
crazy?
deal
Yeah.
got done.
You said him negotiating with his mom like wouldn't work out. He's the highest paid quarterback in the NFL now. So
Yeah, I was wrong, bro. My bad.
no, you're not the only one.
Bad take, Dean.
Sorry.
Real unprofessional of you.
How dare you?
Just called me out. All right. No, my bad. Okay.
No, I just want to, bro. Shout out Omar and his mom for negotiating this because it ended up working out for him big time.
The mom.
Shout out Lamam.
And now he's got weapons. So it hopefully a big season out of the Ravens. Hopefully a big
I like
season
the
out of
pick. It makes sense after we saw the report that Hopkins is now off the trade block. So
So odd.
it is very odd.
Hopkins is off the trade block.
That's what I've
Took
heard.
him off. The block was there, and he's no
I have my
longer on it.
sources. I don't know how reliable my sources are, but I have my
He's now
sources.
untouchable.
He has his sources, bro.
Yeah.
All right. So then the last wide receiver in this run, 23rd overall. And honestly, I thought that the Giants were gonna pick him if he was there at 25. But obviously we traded up.
I don't know why they took him. His broad jump is under 10.5 feet.
Is it really?
Yeah,
And it's
10 feet,
what,
2 inches.
Only like a 4.49.
yeah. It's not even a 4.48.
That's crazy. So Jordan Addison, is the pick,
34.
the wide
My bad,
receiver out of
Mr.
USC. He's not the most athletically gifted receiver in this class, that's for sure. But his route running is arguably the best in this entire class. So, I actually liked the pick.
It's definitely a good
I
pick.
thought they could have done better. I think they should have been the team to take either a Deontay Banks or Joey Porter. I think they needed help at corner, but him and Justin Jefferson is going to be a fucking scary duo.
It is.
I mean, they needed a Thielen replacement.
Yeah, it was
and
definitely in
that's it,
position
right?
of
And
need.
still, yeah, you still have Hawkinson over there.
TJ Hawkinson, baby.
You have a nice little offense brewing now.
Yes, yeah, for sure.
Young offense at that.
Like
Dalvin Cook's
coffee.
Younger
younger
offense.
traded though. Dalvin Cook might get traded though. That seems to be the rumors that are heading everywhere. So I don't think Dalvin Cook is
I
long
don't,
for
I
the
don't see it
Vikings.
happening.
I
So
don't
they
know.
might cut him. Yeah.
Yeah,
don't know
I
if that's
think
what you
he
said.
might end
I
up
hear
being
you.
gone.
Yeah.
No, I didn't say that. But yeah, I think he might end up being gone.
Go play with his brother in Buffalo.
Yeah. And then obviously from this point, 24th overall, the New York
Obviously.
Giants traded up one slot to make sure that they got
11-4.
their guy. Bro,
This guy's nuts.
Bro, hold up. Wait till I spit
till you
some
hear
facts
this.
about Deontay Banks. I love
Spit
this
them
pick.
facts.
I love this pick first and foremost. I would have preferred us taking Nolan Smith, but it's like literally like this close. So I'm very happy with the Deontay Banks pick. I think it's a phenomenal pick. Corner out of Maryland. The man had one of the greatest combines, not only this season, he had the best combine this season of any prospect. He had one of the greatest combines of all time. Yes,
Of all
bro. It
time.
needs to be
Of all
thrown out
time.
there of all time. His relative athletic score, which is a thing that they use to like obviously take athleticism into account, was a 9.99 out of 10. Only two guys have ever had a higher relative athletic score at the cornerback position.
Trunks and Dean.
No, close. Darrell Revis and Marshawn Lattimore. Those are the two that have had better relative athletic scores than this man right here, Deontay Banks. And I could say that those two turned out to be pretty good corners themselves. So
Pretty decent. At the
hopefully Deontay Banks ends up doing the same with his career. It'd be amazing if he turns into one of them two. But yeah, he's a phenomenal corner. Very happy about the pick. I love it. Way to be Joe Shane. Trade up to make sure you get your guy. Anyways, I'm not going to spend too much time on the Giants. 25th overall, the Buffalo Bills traded up to get tight end Dalton Kincaid. They love their guys named Dalton at the tight end position. So I got to say that.
Wow.
There's 3 tight ends in the league that are named Dalton.
Wow.
Schultz, Knox, and Kincaid now. It's kind of weird. It's not a common name for 3 tight ends in the NFL. Like
You're
you're
all
all
on the same team.
It's oh my god, they are.
Two of them
Yeah.
are locker buddies.
Wait, didn't Dalton Knox get oh, it's not Dalton, it's Dawson. I'm an idiot.
Oh,
It's Dawson Knox. It's Dawson Knox. It's Dawson.
I mean, we all
Knox.
said, but we all agreed with it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're
Shout
all
out
idiots.
Dalton Schultz. He's the only other one.
So we get for
He's a
listening to
Texan.
the NFL guy, I guess.
Yeah, my fault. Dawson Knox. I was
Yo,
thinking
5
Dawson.
minutes ago, Antonio Brown tweeted him in a Ravens jersey and said excited to return to the NFL this year. Hashtag Ravens
Jesus
fly.
Christ.
Isn't it just his cousin's jersey? Oh no.
No, that's.
I hope he
There ain't
does.
no fucking way.
I hope he does.
I hope so, but that'd be so fun.
There ain't no fucking way.
Bro, I dropped him in Dynasty. After
Um,
holding on to him for so long.
You did
I
hold
thought
on.
it was over.
I remember you were
He's in the
trying to
NFL
trade
club.
him
I
for
was
the
trying to
longest.
trade
Like
him.
you were like, yo, someone's gonna take him. He's
I
really
mean,
good.
no, it was when he was like playing good. I was
He
trying
was
to trade
playing
him.
well, but-
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really have many thoughts on this pick. It might.
Pretty strange.
I was surprised. I thought it would be something else, like any other position.
Yeah, I didn't expect
Anything else?
Like any other position except for tight end. But
tight end's the pick,
I mean, look, they needed another weapon.
I guess.
Good player.
He is a
Mhm.
good player. It'll be interesting.
Definitely, so he's definitely going to open up the field for you.
Yeah, for sure. And it gives
His-
you a lot of lineup combinations.
His yak ability.
He's a good player.
Yeah.
Dalton Kincaid's a good player. It's not him. It's just the position. Was it really the position of need? So
No.
I don't know. And they traded up for him. Anyways, 26th overall, Mozzie Smith, defensive tackle to Michigan. Just a massive body for the Dallas Cowboys.
34
pick.
reps on the
I
bench
didn't
press.
hate it. Yeah, I didn't hate it. But this is where after this pick, I start to really love the picks for the remainder of the draft. 27th overall, the Jacksonville Jaguars selected Anton Harrison.
Smart pick.
They said it a bunch. Cam Robinson was going to be suspended for the start of the season due to performance-enhancing drugs. So obviously, Jacksonville definitely needed a tackle here. And they lost Jawan Taylor to the Kansas City Chiefs in free agency. So they definitely needed a tackle. It was a position of need, and they took one. Anton Harrison was the best one available. So I guess credit for that. This is where I love the next three. The remaining three or four picks. I really love them. The 28th overall, the Cincinnati Bengals got arguably a top 10 to 15 talent in Miles Murphy, edge out of Clemson. The Bengals know what wins football games, and that's defense, and that's especially the defensive line. Sam Hubbard, Trey Hendrickson, and now Miles Murphy as your edges. They're all versatile. They can move around the defensive line if necessary. As you said before, Chris, you love that. So
Great pick.
loved this pick. The Bengals will stay firmly in contention, and this is obviously just going to help for a Lou Anarumo defense.
Yeah, I
They
didn't
constantly
think this would change anything.
Overperforms. I think it does.
I didn't know. I'm saying this. I don't think this draft pick really changed the fact they were a contender or not.
No, but it makes them even better. It's you need pass rushers, especially in the AFC right now.
Especially when you lose your secondary.
With all
He could
these
be the
quarter-
best player on their defense if he develops.
I completely agree. With all the quarterbacks that are in the AFC, you need as many pass rushers as possible now, I feel. Next up, 29th overall, his teammate to the New Orleans Saints, Brian Breesy, another guy that was projected going into the season as a top 10 pick, actually. And injuries have just continued to wear him down. But potential is through the roof. When he plays, he's a phenomenal player. Surprised he lasted this long. Saints get a great one here.
Yeah, I like the pick. D-line's aging there. They just lost Davenport to Atlanta, so I think it's the right pick.
Yes, and I think he brings a lot of what Cam Jordan can bring as well. I mean, he's bigger, but he is very versatile on the defense.
He's huge, Brian Brucey.
Yes, he's a big dude. But he's capable of moving outside if necessary too. He's that athletic of a dude. He's a very, very good player. I love Brian Breesy, 6'5.5", 298. Big dude. And
It's a
then
big boy.
lastly,
boy.
well, the last two picks, the two teams that were playing in the Super Bowl, and of course I mentioned it before, so we're not going to cover it ad nauseum here, and I don't really want to talk about it. The Philadelphia Eagles get Nolan Smith at the 30th overall pick, edge out of Georgia. It's top 15
Yep.
talent, and of course they get him at 30 overall, as I said earlier. And lastly,
They really said double it and give it to the next person.
lastly at 31st, with the 31st pick, the Kansas City Chiefs, the reigning Super Bowl champs, picked Felix Anudike Uzama.
I don't know anything about it.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't
I'm
either.
pretty
so-
surprised it wasn't
See what he brought.
Osiris Torrance.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
feel like that could have been, probably should have been the pick, but they probably saw something in whoever this
you
dude
can't
is.
you can't look at his testing numbers because he doesn't have. Testing
Yeah, I was looking. That
Yeah.
you don't.
But they probably, obviously O-line was a need for this team. So
Yeah, I mean,
I
I
don't hate the
agree.
pick.
I
If
mean,
they think that was the guy, then that's the guy.
Knowing the Chiefs, if the Chiefs draft him, the Chiefs see him doing
Yes,
something positive for
absolutely.
this team.
they seem to always draft players that are very.
Yeah,
productive.
they don't.
They don't.
They
miss.
don't miss.
They don't miss. They don't-
Especially when
really
they
don't
draft
miss.
players on their the
Offensive
defensive
or
line.
Defensive line.
It's
Yes,
they don't miss.
it's always a hit.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Shout out to them.
But yeah,
That's the
there it is.
draft.
that's the draft.
Ooh.
NFL draft.
Very cool draft. It was cool to see fucking Shams beating out Ian Rappaport
Yo.
and Woj for
What
whatever
the
reason.
fuck?
lot of trades happened last night. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
Shams
Draft be taking
says
so
he averages
long though.
Oh my
17 hours a
god,
day.
bro!
Way too long.
I can't sit there for 4 hours.
It was. I was on Fall Guys with Frank, and it was like 10:30, and I'm like, oh, the draft's probably over by now.
no.
I'm like, so Frank, with the Giants draft, he goes, oh, they're not even on the clock
There's
yet.
just so
I
much
said, huh?
bullshit. Like when the pick is in, the commissioner should come out. They wait like 3 minutes,
Ba-da-dum,
4 minutes
bum,
to come
bum.
out.
Yeah, yeah.
Anthony.
Yo, I
Bennett.
will say, I thought it was pretty cool. The Jets had that Make-A-Wish kid come out and say their pick.
Yeah,
That
it
was pretty.
cool.
That was
Yeah,
pretty cool.
He did a good job.
So he did it. He did a solid job
He
saying
did.
the pick.
He got-
he
he
was
got-
hype, bro.
He got the crowd
He
into
was
it.
hype,
yeah,
man.
It
He
just
was
sucks
hype.
that that was the
Where
pick.
was the draft this year?
Didn't
Kansas City.
I
that
wasn't watching,
They're
but
giving it to the Super Bowl cities every year now.
Okay.
didn't the maybe not this pick, maybe it's day 2 or something.
Oh,
But
it's yeah.
the Chiefs are having
Yeah.
James Rose.
yeah.
Let's. Oh, I
James
gotta
Rose.
watch. I gotta
Oh
watch, bro.
shit! It's
What
day 2.
happened?
You know James
Make their
Rose,
pick.
What happened?
the legend, bro.
You don't know who
TikTok.
that is?
That's you live under a rock. brother.
Oh my
There's
god,
no
are you
way.
serious?
You know
Nah,
James
wow.
Rose?
you got to brush up, bro.
Yeah.
I
James,
don't know who that is.
that's a living legend.
Oh my god, Dean!
What?
James Rose is like one of the most famous men on the planet right now.
Especially in our
James Strauss.
especially in our
Strauss.
industry, the
Strauss.
sports industry, bro.
You really never heard of James Rose?
James Strauss. I'm not on TikTok.
Probably seen him though.
I'm not on TikTok either. I know who James Strauss is.
DROS.
I'll show you James Strauss. Don't you
Yeah.
fucking worry. Shut up.
Oh, let's see.
I can't believe he doesn't know who James Rose is.
You gotta get a different video.
Oh no!
Dude.
sick, bro. Look at my boy.
That's not. Get like this one to show.
Don't show me anything.
Why?
I love him.
He's phenomenal, man.
Bro, his videos are mad funny.
They
He's
are
the
hilarious.
goat.
He's the best.
Yeah.
That's
He is
sick
the
that
best,
he's gonna
man.
get to
That's
announce the
awesome.
draft pick.
I'm very happy
Yeah,
about
that's
that.
so cool.
It's super
That's really
dope
cool that
they're
they
doing
did that for him. Yeah.
I mean, he's announced the Warriors starting lineup before.
Yes.
He's
Yeah.
living the life, bro.
He is
Damn,
living the
that's
life,
pretty
man.
Yeah.
Shout out to that kid, man.
There's
He's,
James Rose.
he's fantastic. He's
Living legend. He's
Yes.
kind of a bandwagon though.
He is most definitely. man. Like,
Yeah, whatever team wins, he's always rooting for. It seems like.
He's a
and then whenever
Cowboys
team
fan,
loses, he just
isn't he?
trolls.
Yeah, he's a Cowboys fan,
Yeah.
a Warriors fan.
Is that really bandwagon? Cowboys ain't bandwagon. They ain't win.
That's true.
Nothing.
Beta to
but
be a
like-
Cowboys fan.
Yeah.
I remember his video when the Cowboys lost in the playoffs.
I remember the
He was like,
video when the
"I'm
Cowboys
sorry,
beat the Bears,
Cowboys."
bro. That was the best video ever.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyways, before we get into the NBA, is there any one player in this first round that you guys are buying stock in?
Easily gonna be Jalen Carter. Like we said, he's arguably one of the best players in the draft, and he just got drafted to the team that went to the Super Bowl. He was in a perfect situation. I'm definitely taking him.
Deepest defensive line in the
Yeah.
entire league,
It's a good
learning
pick.
from one of the best ever. Yeah.
The player I'm buying stock in is Bijan Robinson. Like we said earlier, I think Bijan comes in and he's top 5 to 10 in his position right away. I think this Falcons offense wants to be one of the better rushing attacks in the league, and they were that last year with Tyler Algier. And I think Bijan Robinson is just a much better player than Tyler Algier. No disrespect to Tyler Algier, I like him, but Bijan's a generational running back, so I'm definitely buying Bijan Robinson stock.
I'm going to go with Christian Gonzalez.
Yep.
I think just being molded by the greatest coach of all time, who's coached one of the greatest defenses for as long as we could remember. I think just being molded by that is going to turn him into a hell of a fucking corner in the NFL.
I completely agree. They turned corners, oh my God, into the best players in the league.
Who was his comparison?
Couldn't tell you.
Let's see.
All right, so I'm buying stock in a very late pick. We were just talking about him before. Buying stock in Miles Murphy. I think he's going to be a game wrecker for the Cincinnati Bengals. I honestly think they will develop him into that good of a player. Some organizations, you just see them draft and you don't think they can miss anymore. I'm starting to think that's the Cincinnati Bengals as well. And I think Miles Murphy is going to be a phenomenal player there. So
Who would your NFL comp be for Miles Murphy? Do they do those for the? Yeah, I could just look it up, see what people say.
Christian
who
Gonzalez
would
was actually
my comp be 6'5", 268. My Miles Murphy comp.
Christian Gonzalez's comp is DRC.
Really?
makes
That's what
sense.
they have here.
That
makes
makes a lot
a
of
lot
sense.
of sense, actually.
So much.
Oh my God, they said his
Who's
NFL
DRC?
comparison is Antoine Odom.
Who is Antoine?
I don't know who
Odom?
Antoine Odom is.
You know, I
Yeah,
feel like I would too. I should know who he is, but I don't.
All right, so I'm buying stock in Anthony Richardson. He's gonna be a beast. Again, needs to fucking sit a year, but he's gonna be a beast. He needs to develop a little bit. And his comparisons, Cam Newton.
So
I see it.
Antoine Odom never had a season with more than 8 sacks.
yeah,
actually
he
had
didn't
one
have a good
season.
career.
He had a terrible career. Well, not a terrible. No. First of all, not a terrible.
Underwhelming
No
is the right
disrespect.
word, or well, I don't know where he was drafted.
That's what I was
I
about
have
to
no
say.
knowledge on
Where
homie.
were you drafted?
The second round,
Hmm.
57th overall.
Yeah,
So okay.
kind of an underwhelming career. I'm gonna be honest. Yeah.
Sorry, buddy.
Nah, I'm not gonna say Antoine Odom is his comparison. That's crazy. I don't know. It's tough. I just think Miles Murphy is going to be one of the 10 best pass rushers in the NFL in like 2 years.
Fair.
That's what I think.
They have JSN's comp as Jarvis Landry.
That honestly does not shock me at all. I think that's the perfect comp. Yeah,
He's bigger than Jarvis, so right?
I think so.
More
he's
athletic?
about an
I
inch
think
taller.
yeah, I think he's bigger. than
Yeah.
Jarvis.
More athletic than him too. now.
Jarvis was dealing with injury the day he tested at his combine. And I'm pretty sure he was sick, so he was dealing with everything. And he
I
ran a
will-
40.
bro.
Even in general, Jarvis isn't.
I loved Jarvis.
Jarvis
He was
like-
one of my guys, bro. I fucking loved him
Jarvis was a dog.
when he was in
bro.
Miami, bro.
When he
He's
was
one of the most
Bro.
forgotten about players ever. Honestly,
He still plays for the Saints now.
Yeah, he was on the Saints.
Mhm.
He was
I
just
don't know if
he was making some crazy catches, bro.
he
He was
was.
really making some sick catches.
Really
His
sucks. He's
hands
never
were
really had a quarterback.
Hmm?
He's never really had a
Oh yeah, no
quarterback.
But he was
Yeah,
putting up
Baker.
stupid numbers. He was putting up stupid
Mhm.
numbers.
With
back in
his
back in
hands
that
are
episode.
crazy, like
Yes,
nutty. That's
yes.
my guy. Shout out
Him-
Jarvis
him and
Landry.
Odell.
He was a
man.
Pro Bowler a couple of years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Him and Odell, the coolest fucking wide receiver duo in college ever.
And in the NFL, they were cool.
Except
Oh my God, they were a duo. In the
Except they
NFL.
weren't. They weren't really a cool duo because they didn't really score touchdowns.
Odell and Jarvis were on the Browns for what, a year together?
2 years.
2.
2?
Yeah.
Did they actually play together for an
Odell,
extended
Yeah.
Odell
time?
scores ACL.
Yeah.
Odell Toria.
Who's one player that you're paying attention to for the next 2 days of the draft that you're really locked in on that you want to see where they get drafted?
I mean, Will Levis is up there.
Yeah, Will Levis is definitely I think the biggest
Probably the
question
top
mark.
guy there.
Yeah, is definitely the biggest question mark being a QB that was supposed to go in the first round and just happened to be the odd one out that didn't go in the top 10.
Mine's
Fuzzy.
Brian Branch, bro.
Okay.
Best safety in the class.
I think we had Brian Branch going pretty high.
We
in that.
did. We had him going in the first round.
We have
yeah.
to
We also
compare
I,
our draft.
I
to this
took
one.
I took Keely Ringo, who might not even get drafted tomorrow, but
No.
I love Keely Ringo so much.
Nah, he might get drafted today.
Oh
This
yeah,
is
that's
two
what I
and-
meant
this
today.
is the
He
second
might
and
get
third.
drafted today. I don't know. He's great though. I really like him. His tape this past year wasn't that good, but his combine stuff and the year prior to this year, he was so fucking good. So I really trust him there. I'm curious to see where he gets drafted, to see where they want to play him at safety or corner. But
What you
that's
got,
why I
Trunks?
think he's valuable, because he could play all over, I think, the secondary.
I agree. Definitely agree. Trunks, what you got?
Will Levis.
Whoa.
Will Levis.
Also,
Um,
Zach Charbonnet.
Yes, Zach Charbonnet. So I have 2 guys. I'll throw them both out there.
Throw him out there.
Joe Tippmann,
Nice.
center. And then
The Titty Man.
Mm-hmm.
The tape.
because I'd love to see him on the Giants.
Let me
And
see
then
your tip,
my
man.
other one that I really want to see on the Giants, wide receiver, Ole Miss, Jonathan Mingo.
Bingo.
I would
Bingo.
love for him to be a Giant by the end of this draft. So yeah, those are my two guys.
Maybe if you believe, it'll come true.
I will believe as hard as I possibly
have
can
to-
believe.
Believe.
But yeah, so that's everything for the draft.
Ooh.
I agree, Sleazy.
Ooh.
Rip Jerry Springer.
All right. So now we move into playoff time in the NBA. And before we get into that stuff, I'd like to give a big thanks to our partners over at Sorare. Appreciate you guys for partnering up with us. And please be sure to hit that link if you are going to sign up in our description. And make sure you sign up through us. Anyways, do we want to give a quick update on our so rare lineups for the playoffs so far and this past week so far?
I guess I'm just
You didn't enter the tournament?
thought I did.
You silly goose.
I guess I did not.
What pickup?
Yeah, I didn't. I thought I entered the tournament last the other day. I guess I did not because I
All
was
right,
a
I'm
fool.
trading in a player right now.
No, I didn't either.
Kyle
the hell?
Anderson, you're going away.
I'm out. It's time to trade then.
Damn,
Oh, what terrible picks
I
got
can't
here.
even. Yeah, I
All
can't.
right,
Hmm.
I'm trading Kyle Anderson for Dylan Brooks.
Onyeka Okongwu, you're getting traded for who?
My
Obi?
team
Definitely
has
taking over.
219.15 points. 20,988 out of 71,000. Not that good.
Damn.
My
I
team has
have-
153.93 points. I rank 54,222nd.
I have 11,981. Yeah, not very good.
So what do you guys place that?
How do you see that?
No, you have 238 points.
Oh, oh yeah, 238 points.
Which
My ranking is 11,981.
It's pretty
there you
good.
go.
There we go.
I'm
That is pretty good.
20,000.
Damn, Dean, where you at?
54,000. I had Dorian Finney-Smith not play.
Tier 2 projected. Let's go.
Nice.
Okay, solid, man. Trunks, you've been doing pretty well in So Rare.
Yeah.
Pretty decent over there.
Yeah.
But
Get it.
all right, another thing you've been doing pretty decent with recently.
Oh yeah. I'm on a bro. I
Hit.
said
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Bro,
Hit.
I'm going
Oh, yeah.
crazy.
After hit,
Trunks is
Hit
going,
after
going
hit
wild.
after
Hit.
hit. 4 in a row.
It's hit.
and that is in a segment that we call.
This is ball game bets. All right. So to get ball game bets started, I have Steph Curry to drop 25, De'Aaron Fox to drop 20. I'm going with the Warriors -7.5 spread, and Austin Reeves to put up 15 plus, and that is plus 286.
All right. For 5 in a row this week, I'm going LeBron over 23.5 points. The Lakers alternate spread -1.5. Kevon Looney 10 plus rebounds, and Kings alternate spread plus 13.5.
I can't find mine. Hold up.
No, I got Kevin Horner to score 10 plus. Kevon Looney's alternate over at 11.5 rebounds. LeBron James to record 6 plus assists, and LeBron James to score 15 plus points.
All right, so I have Stephen Curry to score 25 plus. I have the Sacramento Kings plus 15.5 alternate spread. I have Anthony Davis over 22.5 alternate points, and I have the Memphis Grizzlies plus 9.5 alternate spread tonight.
I have Kevon Looney under 15.5 rebounds. Sabonis under 15.5 rebounds. Kevin Huerter to make 2 plus threes. And De'Aaron Fox under 7.5 assists.
Best of luck, Mr. Under.
There we go.
I'm sweating
Sorry for
today.
all game bets for the week. I won my last one. I won my last one this past week. Me and Ortiz are now tied for the
Yes,
bottom.
we are.
Dean and Chris are up by 1 on us, and Tricali is up by 2.
Trunks has
Trunks up by 3 on
he
us.
set him apart.
Oh, is he?
Set
He's up
himself
by 3.
Trunks is up
Yeah.
by
a little
3.
bit, yeah.
Never mind. So yeah, Trunks has set himself apart a little bit.
He's
But
2 games ahead.
I'm going
Yes,
on
sir.
a. I'm
He's
going
3
on a
games
heater.
ahead of me in this loser.
2 games ahead. In
He went on a heater. Now it's my turn. I'm going on a heater.
But
So-
I'm not done with my heater.
no,
that's
it's
the
over
thing.
this week.
No.
It's over this week.
Chris,
so.
the goal is to just not come in last.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not worried about these two.
You see? Now I'm coming different.
I'm hitting tonight.
Me too.
I'm hitting.
So am
Too.
I.
We're all
Don't
hitting
get worried.
tonight.
Yep.
Whoa,
We
Have
all
we had a week where all of us
no.
have hit?
We've had weeks where we all miss.
Obviously.
lot of
we've had a couple weeks where we're like 4 of us hit.
Have we?
I missed a couple ball game bets. I've missed like a couple weeks where I just got zeros.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
basically
that's
he should just be he should take negative points for that. He should
I'm not
honestly
sure
have
that's
a
how it works. I
Nah.
think he's just got he's beat for that because he didn't have, he
Yeah,
had less opportunities.
Nah.
Yeah.
yeah,
So, he's just
it's worth
They count
double.
as losses.
It's worth double if you miss it.
he's just beat. All right. So what series will we do we want to stick with
Well,
the
before
Warriors?
we start the playoffs, I just saw a report that said
What's the report, Trump?
the Rockets are looking to trade Jalen Green.
Really?
What?
He said the report says Jalen Green could be traded. They are willing to deal young star to accelerate their return to playoff contention.
What
Why
the
would they do
fuck?
that?
And they want star. They're targeting James Harden, Jalen Brown, and Chris Middleton.
I did just get that.
Well,
too.
look, it's a legit possibility that James Harden signs back.
No, I know. I'm just saying there were two
Oh, those
different
are all
reports.
free. Yeah.
There were two different reports.
Okay.
Wow.
Jalen Brown's a free agent.
Is JB a free agent? Maybe
No,
not
you
after
know,
next season.
next
I think
season.
after next season, I think.
Which is
That's-
why the
that's
Celtics
wild.
would trade him.
Damn, bro.
That's
Oh my God.
And then Chris Middleton is a free agent. I'm pretty
Trading
sure.
Jalen
Who is
Green's
the
a
Rockets-
mistake.
who just picked up that job?
Ime.
It was Ime, right? Yeah.
Bro, by the way, the fact that Kevin Porter Jr. was the only one that showed up to his introductory press conference, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck? Shout out Kevin Porter Jr. for that, by the way. That's a classy move, and that's what you should do. But that Houston team is very young, and I don't even know. It's
Young and dumb.
he has a
Young, dumb,
but they're not
broke
broke
guys.
at all.
They're not. broke.
They are not even close to broke.
No.
I don't know. I don't know. That's a tough situation for Ime to step into and have to change the culture there now. It's going to be a rough sitch.
Especially when they start off by not showing up to your being hired.
Yes, precisely. I feel like every player on that team should be doing that.
There.
Yeah, it's pretty weird.
There's only 15 of them. There's really not that many of them.
I like the Rockets, so I think Ime was a good hire for them.
I love the hire.
I hope they hit the draft pick this year. It's pretty important.
Very.
All right. So which one do we want to start off with? Do we want to start off with the two unfinished series so far, or would we rather start
I
with-
feel like that would work better if you start with the ones that aren't done.
Sure.
Okay. So two series may come
Why?
to their maybe it is better
It
to
doesn't
end
make
with that.
sense.
Yeah, maybe it is better to end with that.
All
All right. So you know what? I want to start with our favorite team. Well, almost consensus favorite team, and that's the New York Knicks
It's not your
against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Couple nights ago, Knicks fucking closed out the deal, man, and they are in the second round.
I'm so happy.
first time since 2013.
The Melo Stoudemire days.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Just, I
You
didn't-
were 11.
I'm gonna be honest. I didn't believe it was a thing until the clock hit zeros. On I was refusing to believe that we were gonna win that.
Well, we
game
know.
until
Pick them to lose.
Yeah, you're not.
So we
Time and time again.
did.
Even
No,
in the
I-
middle of the series, you're like, nope, stay
and I
pat.
and I
I'm
said
not a
it-
real
Did he
fan.
win?
First
The
of
Knicks
all,
should just
I
retire from
said
the
a million,
NBA.
I said a million times that I was hoping to be proven wrong, and I
Yeah,
was.
obviously.
And honestly,
Mhm.
very happy that I was proven wrong,
Nah.
obviously. But I thought the Cavs were better than they were. They obviously showed me they were a fluke ass team. And
I think the credit also has to go to the
Tom
Knicks,
Thibodeau,
Tom Thibodeau and the Knicks
players,
defense.
Tom
The
Thibodeau.
defense has been electric.
Yes,
The defense has been
100%.
the best in the
Tom
playoffs.
Thibodeau,
We've held the
Mitchell
Cavs
Robinson,
to under
Jalen
yeah.
Brunson,
Josh Hart.
RJ Barrett, Josh Hart, all of them. Master classes night after night.
And you did not
Amazing.
even need Julius Randle.
we didn't.
You
We didn't
didn't
Bro.
even need him.
Very upset that
That's what's amazing
he
about it.
re-injured the ankle.
That's what's amazing. Like
Hopefully, when he gets reevaluated Thursday,
You
it's
know
all
what
good.
sucks? That was the best
yesterday.
he's looked. That first quarter was by far the best he's looked.
He was passive. He was passing the ball a lot. He wasn't playing super out of control.
but he wasn't.
still wasn't playing great,
he
but
was passive.
He was
but
aggressively
wasn't passive.
smart.
I mean,
Yes.
I take
this shit
I take 13, 4, and 6 from Julius Randle in a half
yeah,
any day of the year. I feel
I'd
shooting
rather
4
play
for
the whole
9.
game.
I'd rather play the whole game too, but
What made
I'd
me-
rather have him not get hurt.
What made me very happy was the fact that he was playing incredibly aggressive and trying to get to the rim, but they were sending multiple bodies out, and he was making the right basketball play,
finally.
which
Yeah.
made me so happy because I was like, God damn, like if this is the Julius Randle I'm getting, I will never say another word about him, another bad thing about him ever, because I get frustrated about the fact that he's such a wild. I say it all the time. I said it last
Oh, we
podcast,
know.
a couple
Don't
podcasts
worry.
ago.
We know.
he is a bigger version of Russell Westbrook, or at least the bad version of Russell Westbrook a lot of the times. So very happy Julius Randle played a phenomenal first half, but obviously the ankle injuries started to bother him a little bit.
Yeah. Hopefully
No
he
idea what's
doesn't-
happening next.
I don't know. I haven't
Q-Dot
seen
will be
anything.
back though.
Yeah, he'll definitely be back. Quickly had a perfect time to like heat up finally. Hopefully
Yeah.
he brings it to the next round because he was
And
bad the whole first round besides the last
Obi
game.
gave us amazing minutes when Julius left the game.
Oh
Obi
my
brought, he
God.
brought a
Obi,
spark to
yo.
the game.
Obi
that
was phenomenal.
He brought a spark to the game that we needed. When the Knicks have the bench unit out there, when everyone is just fucking running, no one's stopping.
I've said this time and time again. Obi
It's so fun to watch the Knicks play transition basketball when they have the bench unit out.
Obi has never
They
been
are-
given a chance. He's never been
I've
given
been
a fair
said
chance.
this. I've
I
been
know.
said
no,
this.
I agree. Yeah,
Well,
I've
yeah,
agreed
he
with
has an
you. He's
all
never been given
He
a
has an
fair
all NBA
chance.
caliber player in front of him.
And if Randall doesn't play like a few games next series, I honestly think we're gonna be okay with Obi because he's gonna make Kevin Love look terrible.
Old.
He's
Look
gonna
old.
make him
Yeah,
look
Chris,
terrible.
it's stupid. I hate when he says it.
What?
You called Julius Randle Russell Westbrook. It just doesn't make sense. It
Um,
really doesn't.
Yeah,
I will
I just
say
ignore it at this point.
Obi's
I-
going to make Kevin Love look old. I agree.
Obi's gonna have a
I-
really good
I
series
hope
if he's playing.
Because Kevin Love is
if
old.
Julius Randle's not playing. He's gonna have a really good series, I think.
Bro, he just brings so much energy
he
and
does.
easy buckets
He
for me.
does.
Bro,
Like so many transition
the
buckets.
transition offense for the Knicks when the bench unit, as I said, the bench unit is where we score most of our points and where we build our lead. And the starters just either build on it or they keep it where it's at.
Now, what I've loved the most is the fact that whenever any of these guys get a rebound, they're pushing.
Yeah.
They're
that's
running
transition.
from the set. That's what I'm saying. Like Josh Hart, especially. Josh Hart is the biggest reason as to why our transition offense has been as good as it is.
Yeah.
Because he immediately if he doesn't get the rebound, he gets the ball and he's immediately advancing it to either RJ Barrett, Jalen Brunson, Obi Toppin, whoever it is. They're running, and I love to see that because it's easy offense, especially against the Cavs. You can just set up in the half court.
No.
They're one of the best half court defenses in the entire league, if not the best. And I mean, if you give them the chance to set up, you're not scoring in the paint. You're not. You're not scoring over Evan Mobley and Jared Allen. But they didn't give them a chance to set up. They attacked the guards every opportunity they got, especially on the break. RJ Barrett saw Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland down there and said,
So good.
okay, bet. I'm coming straight at you.
Mm-hmm.
And, bro, RJ had the best 3 games of his career because they were the biggest moments of his
They were the
career.
most important games of his career, and he showed out.
Yes.
I loved it. I'm excited to see what happens next round. Mitch showed out, especially in that
Best
last
game of his career.
Oh my!
Best game of his
bro,
career in the
he
final
had
game of the
11
18 rebounds,
11 offensive
offensive.
rebounds is
insane.
stupid.
I was
It shouldn't be
I was on Twitter that night, and one thing that Nick's Twitter was saying was that they love how this team is just compiled of best friends because like they were watching all like the post game interviews and stuff,
Mhm.
and it's just a team of a bunch of best friends. Like Mitch and RJ are best friends. Brunson,
Mitch and
Josh
Hartenstein are
Hart,
best friends, bro.
Mhm. Mitch and
Super
Josh
glorified
Hart
men's league
and
team.
Jalen Brunson,
Josh
they're
Hart
best
and Mitch,
friends.
best friends.
Quickly and Obi, they're best friends, and they all just come together as one team. And
Bro,
it's
Josh-
just
And that's so
beautiful. It's
nice. All the
beautiful.
Knicks come at the
It's
same
beautiful.
time.
Josh
Yes,
Hart and
it
Jalen
is.
Brunson are probably the best bromance
Yes,
in the NBA.
I
bro.
love it.
I love it. I love it. It
I hope
makes me
this
so
team,
happy.
I hope this team is together for the rest of their careers.
For the
It's
rest of my
amazing.
life.
For the rest of
Well,
my
no,
life.
I think we need to get better.
They're meant
still.
to be.
No,
We
for the rest of
definitely
my
need to get better.
life.
But
Julius
we can
Randle needs a
add
best
and not
friend.
subtract.
Exactly. Julius Randle just needs a best friend.
I'd be Julius Randle's best friend.
I
Kawhi
think
it's
Julius is the
screaming
only one
things.
that doesn't need
I
a
think
friend.
it's saying things as to why Julius is the only one that doesn't have.
He's like the father figure.
Well, nah, everyone loves him.
He is
Everyone
older
definitely
than
loves
everybody else.
He
He
is
is.
the oldest
He's
player.
the role model.
He is.
of the rotational guys. He's the
Yeah.
oldest player. Yeah. But I will say,
I feel like
I
Zeros
lo-
don't got any boys on that team.
no, I,
Nah,
feel like
I
he
think
had-
everyone
him and
looks good.
IQ are like
Are they boys?
that. Yeah,
They're boys.
yeah. It's like big brother, little brother. Yeah. And him and Miles, I'm pretty sure same thing. So, but yeah,
Fucking Disney
Bro,
movie.
this team
I love
just
this
makes
team.
me so happy.
Makes me so
Post game, especially, like it just makes me so happy.
So why do you want them to lose?
I don't want them to
No, you
lose.
do.
I want to be proved wrong.
I want them to lose in the Eastern Conference Finals.
I'd
against
rather lose to the
Celtics.
Celtics than beat the Hawks.
You know what?
I'd rather lose to the Bucks in the second round
know
than
what?
make the NBA
What they
Finals.
showed me in this first round
You really
shows
would've
me
rather
that
lose to the Bucks, though. They lost
He'd
the
rather
fucking
lose
first
to the
round.
Bucks than go to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yep.
I what sense does that?
Well, no, now it's not a fluke because he just fucking beat the Bucks with Giannis healthy for the last 2 games.
Listen,
and the perfect
I mean,
transition. I,
the
don't
last-
even want to talk about the
the
Knicks
last
anymore.
thing
So
you
it wouldn't have been legit if the Knicks beat him, but since the Heat beat him, it was legit.
yeah.
Well, no.
No. At
What?
first, the Heat weren't
No,
legit,
I was
especially if
saying
they
that-
beat the Bucks.
No,
now
because the
they're
Heat were
legit.
so bad, the Knicks should have retired as a
First
franchise.
of all, I
according
thought
to
that I
Sullivan,
was
if they played.
taking it as if Giannis was going to miss majority of that series, maybe play 1 game. Then it's a fluky win, obviously. But he played 2 of those games, and in the 2 games that Giannis played, they fucking lost. And they choked. And that gives us the perfect transition into the fact that the Bucks had one of the biggest playoff collapses in back-to-back games that I think I have ever seen.
in basketball history, maybe.
Ever. They
The-
were up by
the Bucks-
16 in both fourth quarters.
The Bucks losing both those games will go down in like the history books because they're going to look at how dominant the Bucks were after 3 quarters, leading by double
Yes.
digits. I told you guys before the 54 games they led double digits going into the fourth. They were
Yeah.
51-3
You and I texted
51
about
3
it, and we
before-
said it got ugly fast.
before game 3.
We said it got ugly fast.
Mhm.
There was a point where the Bucks didn't score for 6 minutes.
No, I'm talking like the Bucks took over that game very quickly.
Yeah.
There was like an 18-point game, I think, at one point, like the snap of a finger, and then all of a sudden, here came the Heat.
The Heat in game 5, the Bucks had so many opportunities to win that game.
They did.
The Heat were missing
Same
shots.
as game 4.
The Heat were missing shots. They were committing turnovers. They were playing very sloppy basketball. And then 3 minutes came around. The Bucks let them hang around and play. And Jimmy snapped.
Jimmy
snapped.
Jimmy
It was that
things.
simple.
Jimmy did Jimmy things. Oh
Jimmy gonna Jimmy.
my God.
It's Jimmy time, all right.
Jimmy gonna Jimmy. That's a good way to put it. Yo, first of all, I saw a graphic where I think Andre Iguodala like responded to it. It said like Jimmy
that.
averaged the same amount of points as Andre Iguodala's age in this series.
Yeah.
But actually it's not true. He averaged the point less than Andre Iguodala's age. He averaged 38. Andre Iguodala's 39. But for someone to average 38 points per game for an entire playoff series, that's on Michael Jordan shit.
He is his son.
He is his son. Yeah.
Like Jimmy Butler turns into like one of the greatest players to ever live.
Mm-hmm.
When it
He
comes
does.
to
I don't know what it
playoff.
is, but he does.
Jimmy was great.
But
Mike Budenholzer is a fucking blow.
Oh,
so
gotta
bad.
get-
my
He's gone.
He's gone.
So bad.
He has to be gone.
I just
There's
He
no
made
way you
so
keep him,
many
right? There's no
mistakes.
way you
There was
keep him,
there,
right?
there
So
was
many
too many
mistakes.
mistakes. There was too
Surprised he
many.
hasn't been
There were
fired
so
already.
many adjustments that they didn't
make.
make that they should have made over games, not over a game, over periods of games.
Yes.
It's
I
been
just-
like that, and just during the game, so
I just
many
don't
things.
get it
Just-
because JJ Redick spoke about this on one of his podcasts, and I don't mean to steal everything JJ Redick says, but I don't really think it takes rocket science to figure this out. I think he was talking about the Suns in particular in this segment, but just how you can't guard these teams with one coverage all game. You have to switch it up. So yeah, if you're a drop coverage team, like that's cool. If that worked for you in the regular season, like cool, congrats. But this is the fucking playoffs. So like you have to have other things in your back pocket. And the Heat were just fucking killing them in the fucking mid-range off ball screens. Just Brook Lopez didn't look great. He had great offensive games. His defense didn't look great. The thing that made the Bucks defense so good was Brook Lopez being able to help and recover and drop coverage, and he wasn't really doing that well. He was slow on his closeouts, stuff like that. But it's just like, how many times do they have to beat you with the same thing to get out of what you're doing? To think maybe like our defense isn't set up to stop this. I just don't understand. And you know, there's all the other stuff like the end game stuff, the timeouts, whatnot.
Oh
but
my fucking
that's just,
God.
I mean, like the defensive scheme just allowed, and like Jimmy is great. Miami played great, but like Coach Spo saw what was working and saw that Bud wasn't adjusting to it, so he just kept going to it every single fucking time. It just makes no sense.
No rim protection on the final.
Yeah,
I was
play.
about to, that was exactly what I was about to
But-
bring up.
It was big shout out to Bam Adebayo for the point I'm about to bring up, having a triple double.
Yes,
He had
absolutely.
a good game.
His game in the high post, right
Bro.
right around the free throw line. His game there was just the passes he was making. Only him and Jokic can make those passes. That he was
Agreed.
throwing.
Oh,
There
yeah.
was one pass that I watched and I was like, "Oh my god, that was one of the best passes."
His mid range. His mid range was falling. He was playing really good on the
dominated that
defensive
game.
side.
Yes.
Jimmy was great, but Bam fucking
Bam's
dominated
the
that
reason
game.
why they won.
Not
On
even just
both ends of the
offense, I was about
floor,
to say that.
Bam dominated. I mean, like Giannis still gave him fucking 38 and 20, but he still did a great job, especially down the stretch in that game, forcing Giannis into a lot of pull-up mid-ranges for whatever fucking reason.
And then the hook shots.
Yeah.
And then a bunch of hook shots that were just heavily contested.
Yeah, I mean,
Everything was
Drew
contested.
Holiday, we have to have a conversation
God.
about Drew Holiday. Like,
Boyan
Can I just
Boyan
can I
put
just
up
say-
I
15
love
plus
that
for like
The Heat were
he put up
down.
16 the
They
other
were,
day,
they were
actually.
down like 6 or 8 points with like 2 minutes to go. Jimmy scored on him and said, "I own you," while
Yo.
they're still down. I love that.
Jimmy was.
I just
They
don't
were
even
going
know
back
what to
and forth
say
the entire
about
game. I loved it.
Drew Holiday because it doesn't take away from the regular season he had. He was fucking phenomenal
He
in the
was.
regular season. Like, we can't just look past that. But the past few playoff runs since he got to the Bucks have been underwhelming,
Mhm.
and especially in a series like this. They had him taking, I think he was attempting 9 threes a game in this series, when in the regular season he attempted 6 per game. So I don't know why you're deciding to let Drew Holiday be a high volume 3-point shooter now.
Yep.
I feel like it's not the time for that. But also, he didn't shoot the ball well. And Jimmy Butler shot like fucking 60% on him in the series. So if Drew Holiday's not giving you defense and he's not making threes, what the fuck is Drew Holiday doing
He
for
did make his shots difficult, but
Jimmy.
here's my thing. You needed more size on Jimmy
Yeah.
Butler. And
Mhm.
look, I'm not saying you put Giannis on him the whole time. Not saying that at all. I am just throwing the idea out there, and I know you say Jay Crowder sucks, but at least he would have also gave him a different look,
He sucked.
more size, stuff like
He
that.
fucking sucked.
I just don't agree. I think you got Jay
He
Crowder. for a
played
reason.
and then was ass. So he got DNP'd.
I don't know, man. He was not ass when he played. He was not ass.
He was pretty bad.
He was
okay.
mid. He was mid. He wasn't exactly Jay Crowder, but
He was getting
mid.
cooked too. And
I don't know. You got to give someone else a chance
I
there.
don't know.
That's all I'm
I
saying.
think no matter who you throw at Jimmy there,
yeah,
But
I
they
agree with
probably
that.
don't work.
too.
I agree.
He's giving everyone buckets.
I will say one
Not
thing
in the
before,
series.
before we get off that.
No, he
Uh,
probably will average about 50 for the series.
You
I don't think he
mentioned
will.
we're gonna get into that
They
in a
have better
second.
defenders.
You mentioned the inbound, right?
We do.
First of all, I think
I
Brook
mean,
Lopez,
unreal shot, but
in my
Oh, yeah.
opinion, I think Brook Lopez should have been on the inbounder. That's just what I think.
He should have been.
And
on
I
the basket.
think that I think that Giannis should have been under the basket. I think that Brook should have been on the inbounder and Giannis should have been under the basket because Giannis is more mobile. If it was to take him outside, then he could have followed it more so than Brook Lopez would have been able to. And he also gives you every bit of length that Brook Lopez gives you. And then Brook's length is obviously on the inbounder in that case, and you keep Giannis back. Don't laugh. I know I said length. Pause.
Yeah, I was
yeah.
actually going to say that Brook Lopez just has more girth.
you were just comparing their length.
So it's just that, and then coupled with the fact that I hated that Chris Middleton down the stretch didn't get the ball
I love it.
until very late. Chris Middleton had a great game, phenomenal game actually, big time bounce back game, and just wasn't getting the ball down the stretch. And I get that he was getting doubled anytime he got it in deep in the post and stuff like that, especially when they gave him post touches.
Well, because they were just throwing the smaller guard at him.
They did not want Chris Middleton to beat them,
No,
which I get.
which is
especially when
smart.
he's
The,
hot.
the double on the catch every time was the right play.
Yes,
It's
I
just a
agree.
shame though when you have defenses taking away Giannis and Chris Middleton with 2 guys that
And
Drew
Drew
Holiday
can't beat
can't
'em.
step up and beat them. It's really a shame because he did it all regular season.
Yeah,
It really
He had the
is.
best
It's like
regular season of his career.
It's like,
he's
bro,
one of the
come
best
on,
third
man.
best players on a team in the league. Arguably the best third best player on a team in the league right now.
It's rough.
Or at least we thought.
Rough.
He was the third best player on a team that won a championship.
Yes.
And then after this brutal collapse, Giannis went to the podium and said, "There's no failure in sports." How do we feel about that? Is Giannis still the best player in the world?
Yes.
All right. Yes, he is. I hate this.
It's just the fact that it's free throws. I mean, obviously you guys said he was scared.
He was terrified. He was absolutely terrified.
I
to go to the
agree
line.
with that
Are you?
statement.
You're crazy if you don't think that, bro. He threw the ball out of bounds because he was scared to get fouled.
I don't.
Well,
I
bro,
don't-
he made the
you-
smart play and
you
tried
got
to get
it.
it to
Yeah,
Middleton.
you're
No,
not-
yeah, he made the smart play, but
He threw
It's
a bad
not about
pass.
being
threw a bad pass. Yeah.
scared.
People throw bad passes.
It's not
a
about-
part of the game.
it's not about
Draymond
being-
Green threw a pass. Fucking,
It's not about being scared. It's about just trying to make the right play. And there was fucking two guys. Like, it's
I
not
know he
about
tried
the
to make the right
word
play.
scared. It's just about I'm Giannis. I'm shooting 10 for 23 specifically in this game. I'm like a 65% free throw shooter for my career. I have a guy who we're paying $30 fucking million to, who's a 90% free
I
throw
know.
shooter. He's right in front of my
I'm-
face. Let me try and get him this ball.
That's
That's
I'm not
all.
saying
it
I'm
was.
not saying he
Though.
passed it
Why do you mean that's
because
not
he
the
was
thought process?
scared.
Why would that not be the thought process?
That is the
Because
thought.
that's a fucking split second. He's not gonna be like, oh, well, we paid this guy this much money to hit.
Not-
these
Well,
shots."
he's not
all-
thinking
not
about. He's not
Not
thinking about his
all of that,
contract.
but he's thinking Chris Middleton's right in front of me who shoots 90% from the line.
I'm not saying
And
the
then-
reason
and
he
then
passed
people-
it was because he's
but-
scared. I'm just saying he was scared to go to the line.
Scared just isn't the word,
Scared
bro.
is-
You
No,
could,
I honestly agree.
you
I
could-
don't.
he was
I don't
probably
think scared's the
scared.
right
you
word.
could say he didn't want to go to the line, or he wasn't confident, but scared. I seen this man score 50 points and shoot 20 for 20 from the free throw line
know.
in the closeout game of the NBA Finals. He wasn't.
He did.
He is
That
not
was in the other
scared.
day.
He's not scared of any moment, bro. He's not scared of any
But
fucking
here's
moment.
my thing:
He
when you
could-
have your confidence shattered like he did that,
Yes, we
night,
could say he wasn't confident, but he wouldn't
He
have.
wasn't scared.
He wasn't going to step
Okay,
up to
sure.
the line and be fucking shivering. Oh my god! Oh,
Oh my! But that's
maybe he
not-
would have
but that's
missed.
not what we mean by. We're not quite literally
Right, but
saying
that's
like
what
the
I'm
dude's
saying.
gonna be like
Scared
shitting
isn't-
his
but that's
pants.
what I'm saying.
Like,
Scared
Not
is-
confident
what
enough to
Trunks
keep the
means
ball
by
and take the
scared.
shots.
No, that's not what he doesn't want to go to the line.
He don't want
doesn't want to
that
be there.
fucking. He don't
He don't
want
wanna
those
be
free
there.
throws there. He doesn't.
He doesn't want it.
Yeah,
want
he's
that.
making the right basketball play and
yeah,
giving it to the
and
guy who shoots better.
Oh,
Chris Middleton's
people-
8 from the line.
as he
People are
should.
saying,
But intern almost threw it out of fucking
my
bounds.
God.
Is that
It-
worth it?
That's a bad pass. Shit happens. The ball was saved.
But it's just the fact that he tried getting rid of it that quickly. Like that was
Because
the,
he was
they
right in
were,
front of
on,
him.
they
Potato
were
with it.
on top of him. If he caught
But
it
would
and
you
said,
rather almost
let
throw the
me
ball out of
think
bounds
he
or
was
Or
get
fouled.
at least
shots
take
up?
those fucking free throws.
So
Yeah.
would I rather? So we're gonna go to the exact play that happened. Throws the ball, bad pass, saved. Chris Middleton. Oh, Drew Holiday gets the ball, fouled, makes 2 free throws.
Mm-hmm.
He
Okay.
actually did miss one. I'm not gonna
He
lie.
did miss
He
one.
did
One
miss one.
too. He
But
missed
Drew
one
Holiday
too.
shoots what 85% from
I'd
the
rather
free
have
throw
Drew
line.
Holiday
and
But
it's-
no. He wasn't
I
trying to
know
get it.
that.
Chris
wasn't-
Middleton just had to
Chris-
get the ball in.
Chris
bounds,
Middleton.
Right.
Chris Middleton made a hell of a play to
hell
save
of
the
a
ball.
play.
It was a bad pass from Giannis. Giannis was making the right play.
I'm not
but-
saying it
right,
wasn't the
but
right
after
play though.
all of that, would you rather have Drew Holiday or Giannis shooting the free
But
throws?
I'm
Drew
not
Holiday?
saying it wasn't the right play. I'm just saying the way it all happened, he was scared to go to the line.
I just
He
think
didn't want the free
I just
throws.
think it all happened in a split second because it did. It was just all. It all
I just,
happened like
yeah,
this.
I'm just not. I get
he-
what
he
you're
panicked
saying,
and threw the-
and
threw
I
the ball
agree
almost
with
out of
you that he
Oh, he
didn't
did.
want
Yes, a
to
bad
take
pass.
So
the free
quickly.
throws. But I just have a problem with saying that a guy who we've called the best player in the world for the past 3 years was scared of the moment. I just I have a
Yeah,
problem.
I
I
don't know.
agree with you though. Like, yes,
I
he
don't
didn't
know.
want to shoot the free throws, but it was because he was shooting 10 for 23 in the game, and he's also not a great free throw shooter in his
Just-
career. I just scared just isn't. I just can't get behind the word scared.
You know what?
I agree.
More importantly, shout
Like,
out to the Heat and their
didn't
expulsion.
want to shoot the free throws and didn't want to get fouled. Yes, but if he did get fouled, I don't think anything would have he would have stepped to the line thinking I'm so scared. He would have stepped to the line and shot the free throws the same way he did in fucking
the other
game
23
6
free
of the
throws.
NBA Finals when he shot 20 for 20 from the line. He would have done the same routine he always does and shot the free throws. Would they have gone in? I don't know. He probably would have split them for all I know. Like, I don't know if they would have went in. But had he gotten fouled, his routine would have been the same. Everything would have been the same. There wasn't going to be anything different about this. That's why I'm not getting behind the word scared, if that makes sense.
I get
If
that.
I'm scared of something, I'm acting different. I'm acting scared. If he got fouled, he would have stepped to the line and just shot the free throws.
and miss ball.
Yep.
He could've,
Or
but
maybe.
we don't
anyways,
know
Nah,
because
um,
he passed the ball.
Anyways, all right. I want to.
And then, I mean, people were even saying that he was scared on that last play of overtime because he passed it to Chris Middleton, who then passed it to Grayson Allen, who's still Euro stepping.
No, he got doubled.
He
That
got
was the right play.
he got doubled and cut off. He got
doubled.
locked up. Yeah,
And then
like, what are
Middleton
we
got
talking-
doubled.
They're saying because he felt contact on the drive that he was scared that if he kept going, they would have called
It's
a
just
foul.
crazy
That's
to me that
crazy to
Grayson
me.
Allen doesn't know a fucking
Scared
floater.
of the moment is just fucking crazy.
Well, how do you Euro with half? A
How do you
second
go,
Bro, he
what
really
the
tried
fuck?
Euro stepping with 0.4 seconds on
and
the
then
clock.
bricked it. and then bricked it.
Well,
It
it didn't. Count.
didn't matter, but he still bricked it.
Ball
It was just funny.
He had the ball like
an
this
open midi or something.
when the horn expired. The
Bro,
ball
he had
was
a
in
wide
his
open
hands.
mid-range
Like,
jumper or floater.
he had
Either
that shit
one.
It
tucked.
was amazing.
Either
I
one.
guess scared is a fine word. I just think the discourse that is coming with it.
I still don't think scared is
Like,
the right word.
It's
don't
not
think-
you guys, but just in general, people are using that to then question Giannis's greatness.
Oh,
which is
no.
I still
pissing
think
me
he's the
the
best
fuck
player in the
off.
league.
He's still
the
listen.
man fucking did it in the finals, bro. I don't
It's
know.
a-
what
He still
further
put up
proof.
38 and 20.
It's not people, the basketball discourse saying Giannis was scared to shoot free throws, period. It's people saying Giannis was scared to shoot the free throws, comma. That's why he's not the best player in the world.
Yeah,
or
no,
that's why
I
he's
don't
not.
have that.
So I don't know.
I've even seen some questioning, is he a number one on a championship?
Right.
Like, what
Yeah,
the
it's
fuck do you mean? He literally
like,
was.
Shaq said something about it on after the game. He was saying those obviously Giannis has to take responsibility for not hitting his free throws. Obviously, that's the biggest takeaway from this. Obviously, the coaching wasn't there,
Of course.
but every superstars or megastar, horny stars, that's the right word, like Giannis and Shaq when he played. When you're not hitting free throws, it's just something that happens.
Yes.
Shaq was saying about how he had these games where he would put up 40 and 20 and miss 15 free throws, and they would lose by 5 points.
Yep.
Giannis obviously just had 38 and 20, missed
Exactly.
13 free throws, and they lost
that
by.
big ass game. It doesn't matter because you didn't.
You
take
didn't
your
win.
Free throws.
You
Yes.
didn't win.
You still didn't come.
Obviously, it all falls on Giannis, but to
It
question,
doesn't all fall on
I mean, it
Giannis.
doesn't.
That's the
the
thing, though. Like,
majority
we
of
could
it-
criticize Giannis and say, hey, he didn't make his free throws in this game. Like, if they want to have a chance to win these high pressure, high stakes games, he has to make his free throws without saying he was scared of the moment.
I agree. He wasn't. He
Yes,
wasn't
no,
We
scared.
could just say he shot bad from the free throw line. He made a bad pass off that jump ball, and that's it.
I agree.
Not he's
That's-
scared of the
course,
moment.
100%.
But we're gonna call it as we think it is and as we saw it. Obviously,
I just
no,
think that's
Giannis-
so weird, bro, to question saying someone's scared of the moment when we saw them in the biggest moment possible score 50 and shoot 20 for 20 from the free throw line.
But here's the thing: he wasn't shooting 20 for 20 from the free throw line that night. That's the issue here.
But yeah,
He's 10 of
right. So
23.
any player would be less confident in their free throw shooting abilities. Yes, if they're not making them, any player wouldn't want to. Again, when I'm shooting 13 for 20 from the free throw line and I have Trunks, a 90% free throw shooter on my team, and I know they're gonna foul, my first instinct is let me get this guy the ball.
Yeah,
That's
But do
always gonna be.
you risk throwing it out of bounds to get that done? That's the
You
thing.
see,
I don't think it was a
I
risk.
don't-
I think it was just a bad pass. Chris Middleton was right in front of him. He just made a bad pass. Like that's what I saw
But that's
personal.
the thing.
And yes, like
That is
yes,
the
the
risk,
pass he
throwing a
makes
bad
a million
pass.
times, and all of a sudden now you're making a bad pass in this moment.
I mean, I don't think
Whereas
that's
right
I
next
don't.
to
I
you,
don't
I
think
just
that's a
don't
pass
get
you're
scared.
making. I don't think that's a pass you're making a million times.
I don't know.
Immediately
bro,
catching the
it-
ball, not even.
He's
like
right
on the
I've
ground.
seen LeBron pass the ball at the end of games when he knew the team was obviously going to foul two better free throw shooters. I don't think LeBron is scared of the moment. LeBron could have went. LeBron's not a great free throw shooter too. LeBron would have stepped to the line and maybe missed both too. We've seen LeBron miss clutch free throws when it matters most. Was LeBron scared of the
course.
moment when he was missing those clutch free throws?
No, but he's still
No.
taking them.
I
still willing
just
to
said
take
I've
them.
seen
he didn't
LeBron
almost throw the
pass
ball out
the
of
ball to
bounds.
Kyrie Irving.
I
guess.
That's what we're getting
We keep
at.
arguing
guess.
about.
I just think
throwing
it's-
a ball out of bounds.
Let's
Like
preview
Giannis
this
has never committed a
fucking
turnover
series.
in his life.
It's over with.
It is
The
over
Bucks are done. Budenholzer's fired. I hope to God, please fire him. But more importantly than anything else, shout out the Heat. Shout out Eric Spoelstra. He coached he coached a phenomenal series.
That's
But
why
at the
he's one
same
of the
time,
greatest coaches ever.
yes, he is.
He's
He
amazing.
absolutely is. But
Ran circles around him.
now we preview this next series between the New York Knicks and the Miami Heat.
It's not going to run circles around Tom Thibodeau. That's what I know.
I hope not. Hope
mean,
not.
What do you mean you hope? No chance.
Deadpool.
Tibbs
Deadpool.
just had his own masterclass of coaching.
So you guys,
Deadpool. Shaq never became a great free throw shooter.
never once.
Ever.
Shaq always had flaws in his game. The same flaws he had his whole career. Let's stop with that. Some guys just aren't great free throw shooters.
Okay. So you guys always say how I'm a Knicks hater.
Here we go. Knicks in 4.
I'm going to be a fan today.
I'm actually going to
No,
say
Oh,
Knicks.
the
I'll call
opposite.
it
I'm
like
actually
I
saying the
fucking
Heat.
see
I'm
it.
saying Heat in
I'll
7.
call it like I fucking see it. Knicks in 7.
Wow. I love it.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. Knicks in 5.
Wow.
I think they
Holy
steamrolled the
shit.
Heat.
No.
Oh, this is amazing.
No,
I
Knicks-
so
Knicks
I
in
was
7.
texting the
agree.
Shields about this
I'm
last night.
taking. Oh, sorry. I'm taking the Knicks in 6. Though.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Heat win this series.
Absolutely
Mhm.
not.
I trust what I've seen from the Knicks more.
I wouldn't be
Knicks in
surprised.
5.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we swept the Heat. I wouldn't be surprised if the Heat swept us.
Yes.
I wouldn't be surprised if it
Yes.
went 7 and either one of us win. I wouldn't be surprised no matter what happens.
There's no outcome
I
that
don't
can
know.
happen in the
I
series.
don't know what's
that-
gonna happen.
It's
It's just
simply
a
because
tie
they have the
forever.
best
Yeah.
player in the world right now.
Yes. Yeah. At this current moment, they absolutely have the best player in the
I
league.
do-
And the thing is, we have the defenders to throw at them.
Okay.
The Bucks did not. Josh Hart is
Josh
going to play
Hart,
great
RJ, and
defense.
Quentin Grimes are
Yes.
better than anything the Bucks
Yes,
could have thrown at
exactly.
him.
We're going to be able to defend them a lot more than the Bucks
The
did.
switchability the
For
Knicks
sure.
have is just we're just a
Yes.
better defensive
And I
team.
expect Julius Randle to have a bounce back series.
I was saying this when you went to the bathroom.
He's healthy.
So if he's healthy, okay, he's going to have a good series, I think. If he's not, I think Obi Toppin is going to have a great series. He's going to make Kevin Love look super slow, super old.
Yeah.
He's one of the
Heat
most
just-
important players in the
Yeah,
series.
the Heat just don't have the bodies for the Knicks front
don't.
court.
We don't.
So
They don't.
exactly.
Yeah,
We're
it's great.
our size is going to
Oh,
just overwhelm them.
Yes.
I think.
We're
Yeah.
gonna win this series like we're gonna win any other series and how we've won games, and that's on the glass.
I think
the
Jalen-
glass and
yeah.
running the transition.
And the one
offense.
thing I will say is it seemed like, as you said, the Knicks play was more sustainable. This Heat offense had not been working all season. And all of a sudden, 6 of their 8 rotational players shot more than 40% from 3.
Yeah.
Duncan Robinson shot, 75% from 3 this series. All right. I think it's safe to say that probably not 6 of their 8 players are going to shoot 40%.
Well, they were the
three.
best 3-point shooting team through the first round of the playoffs, and
Yes.
they were bottom 5 throughout the regular season.
Yep.
I think
You
bottom,
just have to predict
bottom.
it doesn't continue.
I will say Strus, typically a very good shooter. Duncan Robinson, typically a very good shooter. I think those guys will continue to shoot well. Kevin Love, also a very good shooter. But all right, Jimmy ain't gonna shoot 40% from 3, right?
I
Right.
don't know.
Right.
He might.
not.
I
He
don't know.
can't.
He's the one guy
We'll
that
see.
I do trust,
Yeah.
We'll see.
that I think will continue his great
I
play.
don't
So
think
is other
he's-
guys.
I don't think he's averaging 40 though.
But I think he could.
think he's averaging
But I think he could average 40, and the Knicks could still.
And the
win.
Knicks could
I
still
agree.
win.
Yeah,
I
he could,
agree.
but I just don't think he
I
will.
said this exact same. I said to the Shields last night when we were talking about it. The Knicks error
Margin of error.
margin for error is way greater. The
Yes.
Heat can't fuck up.
Yes.
The Heat have to play perfect in 4 games if they want to win 4 games.
Well, the Knicks need to start hitting their 3-pointers as well.
Yeah, the
Mhm.
Knicks could win games though where they're not perfect in.
What scares me is
Which
the
they-
Heat can wear down JB too. Jalen Brown, especially if there's no Julius
I
Randle.
think he's gonna dog them.
I was about to say, I think he's gonna be amazing. I don't know who's
And you
gonna
can
stop
get
him
good
this
performances
series.
out of IQ. He
I mean,
still hasn't
And once
shown
again,
up
you
yet.
yeah.
I'm
That's
just
gonna be
saying,
good.
bro. You could throw Kyle
you get
Lowry at
Grimes
him.
back.
You could throw Caleb Martin at him. You could throw Jimmy Butler at him.
They could throw
Like,
whoever they want at him. I think he's going to get his buckets no matter
no,
what.
I agree, but I'm
He's
just
gonna have to
saying,
work
you
for his
can-
shots, obviously.
Exactly.
But I think with the Knicks' depth, obviously, when you talk about playoffs, the first word obviously isn't depth. You think of, but the Knicks bench
The
and the
Knicks.
Knicks rotation has been the reason why we're
And
Knicks
here.
these-
rotation is
we have a
phenomenal
very
top
deep
to
team.
bottom.
these
We
type-
don't have a deep team.
And these, yes, they do.
What
For
do
the
you mean?
playoffs,
Knicks don't
yes,
have a
we
deep
are you
team?
fucking
Bro,
stupid?
we're like 9 deep. What do you mean?
Are you fucking dumb?
What?
In these type of series,
Yeah, 9 deep is a lot in the playoffs. Yeah.
though, where they're like it's going to be the same thing as it was against the Cavs against the Heat, low scoring defensive affair. That's where the depth matters when it's these
Mhm.
grinded out series. So
Yeah,
the Knicks
sure.
depth, I don't value depth that much in the playoffs, but in this type of series, I think it's going to be very important, especially just with the physicality. Guys are going to get worn out.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Just-
And I
So
think another
happy.
big thing for the Knicks is having home court advantage.
Yeah, it's crazy. We have home
The
court
Knicks
advantage.
we have home court
to
advantage
go
as
to
a
the
5 seed.
conference finals.
That's also another
amazing.
thing I said to the Shields the other night. I was like, "There's no way they lose game 1.
No.
The Garden is going to be fucking
No
rocking,
Fucking
I'm so
chance.
excited to watch
bro.
that
The
game,
Garden's going to
man.
be literally
Yo,
Oh
the-
my god.
Do
floating.
you guys want to go to the city? Could they have to watch
We are,
party
going,
outside?
we are going to
We're gonna go. Yeah,
When's the game?
Sunday, 1:00.
Nice.
We're going
Working a double.
Let's go get
Fuck.
brunch and
Oh,
get
so I guess you're.
sloshed.
I got
Oh, it is 1:00?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
So I won't be there. I'm not getting a cover.
Holy shit, it's gonna be early as fuck.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Speaking of covers, I gotta go to work.
The plan, we don't even know if we're going to the game for sure. That's not even
I want to.
that's not
Probably
even a
not, but we'll
thing.
go. I want to go to the city to go
We'll
watch.
see what tickets look like an hour before.
but yeah, the Knicks need to win this series. I mean, they don't have to.
That's a good point. They don't
Thanks,
have to win this
asshole.
series. It's all right.
I'd still rather lose to the Bucks.
Think about New York. If we win this series too,
Bro.
Like we went crazy for the first round.
I know,
It's gonna go even crazier if we
Bro.
make the conference final.
Knicks fans shut
So-
down 7th Avenue.
bro.
7th Avenue is the busiest streets in the United States.
Yeah,
They're like, nah, let's just shut it down because go New York,
because
go New
we
York,
can.
go.
Because we can. Because we can. Yeah.
Because we want to play hoops on the bus.
All right. So final predictions again. Can we run that back, Chris? What do you got?
Knicks in 5.
I have the Knicks in 6.
Knicks in 7.
Knicks in 5.
Knicks in 6.
Jesus.
Nice.
Consensus. Oh my
You're
god.
the only one that I would probably say the Heat here in all
You would,
in
yeah.
all of our minds.
I don't think it's like crazy.
I
to
don't think
say
it's
the
I don't
Heat,
think it's crazy to
though.
say the
Like,
Heat either. As Trunk said, we could sweep them, they could sweep us. They can go to
Yes.
7 and then someone could hit a full court shot like Jerry West did and the game's someone wins.
Absolutely.
It could
All right,
happen. I'm
yeah.
going to work.
Yo,
You guys later.
Sleazy.
you
That's
going?
that's a little bit of AO.
What do you say?
Let's chill out with that. See you, Daddy Ortiz.
See ya. Love you.
Peace out, homie. Gotta give the dabs, man. You can't just walk out. All right. So up next, we have the Celtics and the Hawks, the other game from last night. Celtics did what they had to do and closed them out. All right. What are our thoughts of last night's game? I honestly did not watch. I was watching the draft, so I can't even give you thoughts on last night's game.
I liked what I
I
saw
was in
from
and
the
out, but
Hawks.
it was a good game.
It was a really good game that the Hawks fought till the end. Trae Young was not good in the second half. I don't know. DeAndre Hunter was good. Clint Capella could have done
Hunter
more.
had a lot of good games in this series, I feel like.
Yeah,
Mhm.
he was good this series. I wanted more to add to DeJounte. He was taking on more of the passing role in the second half. He was getting a lot of assists. But I would like to see him be more aggressive in a winner go home.
A
game.
22 piece from Marcus Smart. Wow.
Yeah. There's a certain point in the fourth quarter where he couldn't hit a shot. They took him out for a few minutes.
That was scary.
That was
That
scary.
scared the fuck out of me.
Yeah, it was a good game. Celtics did what they have to do. Not surprised, obviously. Now they're playing the Sixers,
Yeah.
and
So
Depends on Embiid.
is there really that much to say about
No,
like
but it
this game
no.
with the series?
I
I
don't
feel like
think
we
so.
covered a lot of it.
I was
did.
impressed with the Hawks in the playoffs.
I was,
They
yeah.
could, especially going down 0-2, they could have folded. Trae Young showed me a lot. I don't put too much stock in the last night. I think he was just gassed from the load he
Entire
had to
series.
carry.
Entire series.
Um,
yeah.
I think the Hawks still have a lot of work to do, but I think as a Hawks fan, you should be excited for this Quinn Snyder era. I think
Yeah.
Quinn Snyder did a lot with them and not a lot of
Not
time.
much
So.
time. Yes,
they
I
almost
definitely
forced the
agree.
game 7.
And
That was
shout
kinda
out to
cool.
Celtics for
I think if
taking
he,
care of
if
their
he was
business.
with them all season, they wouldn't be where they're at right now, and they
Yeah.
might be not going home right now.
I agree. Obviously, Philly took care of business. We know that 4-0. This happened a while ago, but obviously now we talk about this next series and a series that honestly may very well determine who goes to the finals in the
No,
Eastern
it
Conference.
won't. Shut up.
Just throwing it out there.
Fuck.
Celtics, 76ers.
Yeah.
Are you calling this the real Eastern Conference Finals?
Yes, I hate to say
You
it.
suck.
Wow.
I hate
Yes.
you.
Um,
I'm a Knicks fan. All right. Yeah, I don't know who I'm picking here.
What the fuck just happened?
but
What?
Weirdo.
What?
so yeah, Celtics, Sixers. Who we got?
Celtics.
I'm taking, especially if this Joel Embiid injury is a real thing
know,
and it's going to
yeah.
bother him and hamper him. I'm taking the Celtics in 6.
Since we know nothing about Joel, I'm taking Celtics in 5.
I want to pick the.
They're gonna-
I
I
want
was
to pick the
thinking about that.
Sixers so bad.
So do I.
I really do. But like, I do think if Embiid plays and he's healthy and he's 100%, then it's gonna be a really good series and the Sixers could win. But we really don't know anything, and it seems like he's not healthy. So I'm gonna go Celtics in 6.
Chris.
Celtics in 6.
I do really want to pick the Sixers.
Um,
I definitely think they
Wait,
could
what do you
win.
mean? The Sixers was your finals pick.
I know, but now Embiid's hurt. You know.
All right. I think if there's any team though that matches up as perfect as possible with the Sixers, it really is the Celtics.
Yeah.
Like you could throw multiple people at Embiid, multiple different looks at Embiid, and then
Yeah.
James Harden has to be guarded by Derek White, Marcus Smart, Malcolm Brogdon, Jaylen Brown all game. Like,
I will say this: if it does come out that Embiid's healthy, I do think the Sixers have a very good chance at beating them. And
bro, Tyrese
you know,
Maxey's a fucking hooper.
he is. Bryce
Tyrese
Harris
Maxey-
he's been
and
playing
Toby
really
was
good.
phenomenal in that series as
You
well.
know?
So they got options there, bro.
I
Yeah.
just don't think the Sixers have the bodies for Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum at
Yeah.
all.
Agree with that.
Yeah.
I definitely agree with that statement. All right. So I guess we can move forward from that series. Next up, what are the other two that are fully set in
Suns
stone? Okay,
and
so we'll talk about
Nuggets.
the Suns and the Nuggets series.
All these series are so
Um,
good.
Obviously, the Suns close out the
Well.
Clippers. I really don't have much to say about it. I feel bad for the Clippers
It
as per
sucks.
usual, but it happens all the time.
And it's going to continue to
every
happen.
season, and it'll
gonna
never
continue to happen.
stop happening.
Yep, because
It
they're not
just-
blowing it up. So,
No.
Nope.
It's like a
At
sunk
least not
cost.
until they're in their new stadium.
Yeah, I don't even know if they.
they're never going to blow it up.
So obviously, Suns took care of them in 5, but every game was close.
It was.
And Russell Westbrook, not the last game, but the other games that Kawhi and Paul George were not there. Obviously, PG wasn't
Play
there.
really good.
He was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Russ revitalized his career.
He needed that playoff.
He
run for
really
sure.
did.
Even that
Um,
last game, they almost won. Like they came
yes.
back. They were down like 16 or something.
Yes.
It was a good game.
Um,
And they pulled away
the
though.
Clippers team overall is so talented.
They
bro.
are. They are a championship contending team if
But they're-
everyone is healthy.
Their top two guys
just
are
they're always
never
hurt.
healthy together.
Like they on paper are one of the best teams in the league.
I'm gonna
It
be
just
honest with
doesn't
you,
work.
bro. If you just have Kawhi healthy, that
Yeah.
team is still a championship contender, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
I think they're that good just with Kawhi.
Yeah. It's tough.
It sucks that it's
But-
every year.
It is, bro.
But yeah, they're gone. It's over with for them for the season. So now Nuggets, Suns.
Nuggets. And we'll talk about the Nuggets real quick too with that Timberwolves series. They took care of business, did not let it get to another game.
Almost did.
Um,
That was a good game.
Bro, Anthony Edwards, that shot, I thought it was down. I'm gonna be honest.
Man threw a chair. He's facing charges
It
now.
was so you know what? I'm not gonna get into that. But
I don't know.
that's ridiculous.
I don't know.
But anyways, Anthony Edwards is now turning himself into a superstar.
Yep.
That is about all I really have to say about the Timberwolves. Rudy Gobert was actually not bad at all in this final game of the series,
I
especially.
saw that
He
after,
did a damn good job on Jokic. I will
after
say
they
that.
lost. I saw that he liked to tweet or post on Instagram or something about how the Timberwolves were crazy for trading all those firsts for a guy.
I'm gonna be honest, bro.
That was
think
it
about
was.
Anthony Edwards. did.
Yeah.
Think about if they never traded all that for Rudy.
Yep.
Like how much they would have Walker Kessler, they would have Jared Vanderbilt, they
Yep.
would have Malik Beasley. This would be the deepest team in the NBA right now.
Yep.
What
Well, no, but they'd be
What do
a
you
lot
mean?
better.
do you mean no?
I don't know if they'd be the deepest team in the league.
They'd be
But-
phenomenal. This team would be phenomenal.
Yeah, no, they'd be better. I'm not
Um
saying deepest team in the league though.
but
I don't know.
was D'Angelo Russell in that trade?
No.
No?
He-
What
he-
D'Lo trade?
Got traded to the Lakers. at the
Oh
deadline.
yeah. For the I forget he was on the Timberwolves. I honestly completely forget that
Yeah.
he was on the T-Wolves for this season. But yeah, don't know what's next for them.
Yeah.
Nuggets took care of business, as I said, and now here we go. A series that honestly I'm very, very, very excited to
I'm
see what
excited
happens.
for all of them, bro.
Um,
Every series is gonna be a banger, but I don't know who I'm
Suns,
picking here.
Nuggets. Who are we
All right,
picking?
I think I know who I'm picking, and I don't know if I feel good about it, but I'm picking the Suns in 6.
I feel great about saying Suns in 6.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I want to say Denver so bad.
I do too. I just
It is
I
not
can't.
the chicken
I
nuggies.
can't.
It's not.
KD and
never was.
KD
never
and
will
D Book
be.
have been so good.
D Book. Oh my God.
I just can't go against them right now.
Yo, who is Kawhi Leonard, bro?
What?
Why you keep doing this, bro?
What
Who
would happen?
are you? Reveal yourself.
Why? What do you say over there? What do you say?
Kawhi Leonard said, "Emo Jake Paul." Kawhi Leonard, I love you.
Come on.
Yeah, I'm taking the Suns in 6 though.
I'm so tempted to say Nuggets in 7.
I know. I can't.
I just can't do it.
They just
I'm
don't
gonna
have the
say-
star power like the Suns do.
Jamal is him.
Yeah, but they don't have Kevin Durant and D Book.
Jamal is really him.
He is, but
Jamal is him.
Suns have
Yeah.
Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. playing amazing.
Yeah.
They
I'm
can't
going with
stop
the
it.
Suns in 7. I
Mhm.
think Jokic and Jamal really do make this series. Michael Porter Jr. has been unconscious at times, so he's the key to this series, in my
Yeah.
opinion. If Michael Porter Jr. is playing like a third star, I
Then
think the
yeah.
Nuggets win.
Yeah,
Personally.
it'll be a really good series though.
I'm taking Suns in 7 too.
Yeah.
If there's any, Jokic is great. Like, I'm not trying to be the Jokic hater, but if there's any series where Jokic
Yep.
gets exposed, it's this one. So
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's
Agreed.
the issue. I do agree. Suns in 7.
We all agree so far. Forever.
Have we had a?
we haven't
haven't
disagreed
had-
one.
Okay, all right. Well, here's an interesting one.
The last one
The last one is not
series-
finalized yet.
hasn't even started yet. Really,
No,
don't even have one team.
it's not finalized yet.
Which is good.
And anything can happen still. Tonight we have 2 games, and these are the 2 games that could end up being closeout games if the Warriors and the Lakers take care of business tonight.
Yeah,
So the first game, the Kings versus the Warriors at 8:00. Who do we have winning this game? Who do we have winning this series? If we think obviously there's more to this, and we go from there.
I think the Warriors close it out tonight.
At
At home. I think they do.
At the Chase Center. Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Kings win. Obviously,
So
but
sad, bro. But I agree.
Kings
the
in
Warriors
7.
win it.
I'm not backing off my pick.
Fuck the
Kings in
beam.
7.
No, I love
Fuck
the
the
beam. I love the
beam.
beam. I really wanted the beam to win. It's just I hate that they're playing the Warriors because I really want to see
The Kings.
Steph versus LeBron in the next
Yeah.
round.
The Kings
I
are
really
so
wanna see
due to have a game where
And they
everything's
are.
clicking on all cylinders.
But it's just not going to happen at Chase.
I think it is.
I think it definitely could.
Kings are one of the best road teams in the association.
I'm thinking of picking the Kings tonight, but I think the Warriors are gonna win.
You know, Warriors finally got that vaunted road win. So
Yeah,
they
And Andrew Wiggins looks like he's firing on all cylinders.
Oh yeah, Andrew Wiggins is elite.
Steph's insane. He's the best.
I don't expect Draymond to score 20 again. Kings are right there.
No. But Draymond was phenomenal in
Well,
that game.
This is Game 6, and you know who comes out in Game 6?
Kevin Herter
Kevin
comes
Herter.
out in Game 6.
Yo,
A new star was born.
I do think it's over tonight. I do think the Warriors win. But the line is like -7.5, and I think that's just not the case. They should
Yeah, no.
not be that favored. The Kings have proven every time they've had the opportunity to, it's been close games.
Yeah.
Except for one, it's been close games. All right. So we move forward with that. Chris, you're keeping Kings in 7. We obviously all have Warriors in 6 at this point. That was my original pick, actually.
I think that was mine. I either had 6 or 7 for the Warriors. I don't know.
Grizzlies, Lakers, 10:30.
Lakers are closing it out tonight. They have to.
It's a
They
parade
can't
in
go
Seven
back.
City.
They
Desmond
can't go
Bane.
back to Memphis, bro.
Said we're going back to
They're not.
Memphis. Game 7.
LeBron is not playing like that again this game tonight. He's not. He's not having 15 points again.
I have a big time
There's
feeling
no way.
that the Grizzlies force it.
No.
But I think if the Lakers are to win tonight, it's not LeBron that plays crazy. I think Anthony Davis comes out,
No, I
feeds
think-
off that crowd, and has a ridiculous game.
I think
No, they
both
need
will. They
LeBron.
both will.
They need LeBron.
I have a
They need Anthony Davis to
I
play
have an
better
odd
than
feeling.
LeBron does.
I think AD
but-
might go for 40.
That's fine. Yeah. No, if I will say this, they need a good AD game more than they need a good LeBron game. To win.
Yes, I'm gonna rely on LeBron.
Yes.
I'm gonna rely that
Well,
LeBron's
you know
gonna
what you're
give
going
me
to get out
20.
of LeBron.
Bro, especially
Yeah.
after
He's
giving
not
me
going to have 15 again.
last
He's not
game.
having 15.
Oh my
He's going to have
God.
at least 20. You know.
He should really be
So-
getting 25 tonight.
Yeah,
You're
no,
gonna
he should.
need
I think he
25
will.
Yeah, he's gonna come out firing on all
You know?
cylinders. I think the Grizzlies get the job done though. I'm a real man. I don't back off my picks.
But I'm gonna stick
Grizzlies
with
in
it. I'm
7.
going Lakers. And
Yeah,
I had
I
the
think
Lakers
I
in
think-
6, and I'm sticking with the Lakers
Yeah,
in 6.
I think
So
both series are done tonight.
Me too.
okay.
You think the Grizzlies win the series if they go 7 or
I had Grizzlies in 7 this whole time.
Okay, so
Yeah.
your case, you would have Grizzlies versus the Kings. Who would you take?
The Grizzlies in like 4. Nah, Grizzlies in 6.
all right.
And we would have Lakers Warriors. we get the
Lakers,
Steph
Warriors.
versus LeBron.
And
Back
I'm
again.
Oh,
going Warriors in that series.
God. And how many?
Warriors in 6.
I think the Warriors smoke the Lakers. I think if that's a series, I think Warriors in 5.
I think Warriors in 6.
The Lakers cannot hang with the Warriors, bro.
I think the Warriors in 6. As much as I'd love to say the Lakers, I think it's the Warriors in 6. Yo, if the Warriors fucking do it again, bro. I swear.
They really can.
I know it's wide open right now.
The Lakers are an easier matchup for them than the Kings. The Lakers' offense is not going
it's
to
bad.
be able to
Yeah,
hang
it's
with
bad.
them.
It's rough. It's rough.
I really want to pick the Lakers, but I don't know if I could pick the Lakers.
Deadpool, I don't think they're too low on the Lakers. I think I'm too low on the Lakers, but I don't give a shit.
We are not low on the Lakers, Deadpool. I can
Definitely not
assure
low.
you of that.
Warriors
Actually,
smoke 'em.
Warriors in 7 because LeBron wouldn't let it happen in 6.
I'm going Lakers in 7. Fuck it. I can't. I'm not going against them.
Warriors in 7.
Got to be different somehow.
Yeah. All right. Well, there we go.
All right.
Jinx.
All right.
Soda. But wow. What a second round we might be in for here. This is gonna be fun.
I changed my mind. Going Warriors in 7.
Damn.
Okay,
I can't do it.
got it.
Yeah. Now the segment's
Kid
over.
was arguing with himself in his head for
Yeah.
30 seconds.
I just
he's having battles
I'm
up
not.
there.
I am. I don't know who's gonna win until it starts. Like until the clock starts in the first quarter. I won't
Then
have
your-
my.
then your
I
pick
won't.
is
I won't have
finalized.
my pick.
Yeah, then your pick is
But,
finalized.
but right now, for this, I'll go Warriors in 7. I guess
It's gonna be so phenomenal these playoffs.
It
man.
is.
It's already
the
started.
first round was amazing, and the second round is gonna be
All right.
even better.
Blind rank these NBA players based on their stats. Playoff edition. Player A is averaging 28.4 points per game. Player B is averaging 27.2 points per game. Player A is averaging 7.6 rebounds per game. Player B is averaging 10.0 rebounds per game. Player A is averaging 6.2 assists per game. Player B is averaging 5.3 assists per game. Player A is shooting 51.8% from the field, and player B is shooting 45.3% from the field. Player A is shooting 45.8% from 3, and player B is shooting 35.0% from 3.
Wow.
Oh
Alright.
my lord! I'm taking player
I
A.
think I'm gonna go player A.
You gotta go player A.
Player A was Kevin Durant, and player B was Jason Fraud Tatum.
Ooh, he's a fraud.
All right.
I
Fraud.
don't think it makes him a fraud. It's pretty good numbers, but like,
Not better than KD.
well, obviously Kevin Durant is just fucking Kevin Durant, bro. Nobody's questioning that.
Kevin Durant is fucking.
Kevin Durant
Durant.
is Kevin
Is he
Durant, man.
really fucking Kevin Durant?
I
Fucking
don't
the
think-
shit out of him.
Okay, that is just weird. All right, well, that's
LeBron
everything, right?
James is 30-0 when he has at least a 2-game
Oh,
series.
Sleazy,
lead.
what, bro? What do you want from me? Hey, Chris. What? Watch yourself.
Chris goes,
What do you mean, watch yourself? What'd I say? Oh, I called Jason Tatum a fraud. Huh?
Oh, Sleazy. By the way, we all picked the Celtics, so yeah,
All
there's
right.
that. In case you weren't paying attention to that part. All right, well, that's everything, correct?
Yep.
Okay. Thank you so much to our partners over at Sorare. Appreciate you guys. And anyways, enjoy the NBA playoffs. Enjoy tonight's games. They're going to be phenomenal, and they could end up being closeout games. But with that, don't do it yet.
I didn't.
Please
I
be sure to
realized.
leave a like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, follow us on all of our socials. And with that,
Ball game.
That was ball game.
Ball game.